and welcome again to YouGarden TV. My name's Shaun Ryan. This is the fabulous Adam Woolcott, multi-award winning gardener, great friend of mine.
Good to see you, Shaun, as always. How you doing?
Oh,
I'm good, I'm excellent. You okay?
Do you know, I'm great. I love being here. This is, by the way, you've just seen that little club film. That's the 11-acre YouGarden nursery. YouGarden provided all the plants on our previous plant shows when you watched us on Garden Bargains on a Sunday morning. There it is, 11 acres of beautiful plants. And our studio, our potting shed, is right in the middle of that. And we have got 2 hours of absolutely fabulous plants to share with you. Adam's got a wealth of knowledge. I'm not as good as Adam, but I do know a thing or two. And together we're going to go through everything and really give you lots of hints and tips as well.
Yeah, absolutely, Shaun. I mean, we were saying during lunch break, the great thing about doing this is we're both passionate gardeners. We love gardening. So, everything we say to you, it comes from the heart, it comes from our passion, it comes from what we love doing.
And YouGarden, their tagline is gardening for everybody. So no matter how big, small your garden is, no matter how knowledgeable you are, we have got plants and products to really help. But I want you to save money. That's my job, isn't it? I want to save you money. So a few things that you need to know. Now, you'll see an offer code on your screen. It's YGTV9. That's exclusive to the shows. And what that means, well, first of all, everyone has to put that in the basket. I'm not even going to give you the option, because if you don't put it in, you could lose money and you won't get all the free offers. Everyone, luckily, that ordered this morning put that code in their basket. So if you put it in there, you will get your free gift with every order. Today's free gift is amazing. It is the Blooming Fast. Don't think this is just a little sachet, because inside here you have got what will make 100 litres of premium plant food. And just in a couple of sentences, Adam, why is this so good?
Because it doesn't just contain the 3 main nutrients that plants need, nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. It actually contains the trace elements as well. Those small amounts of nutrients, small but critical, and they're all in there, and it's a liquid feed as well, so it gets straight down into the soil, straight into the roots, and starts working straight away, Shaun.
And it actually makes around about 20 watering cans, so you'll get one of those with every order if you put in the offer code YGTV9, but that offer code may unlock other savings and promotions as well. Now, the other thing, there's your NPK, by the way, and it's 1824, isn't it? It's really high.
Yeah, that's the one.
And that is a great freebie worth £5, $4.99. But also, I would love you to join the YouGarden Discount Club, because honestly, you only really have to place one order probably to get your money back. This is why. So you'll get a little reminders as you're ordering to do this. We've got a discount on them today. So the normal price is £20. You can either go for the auto renewal, that is £5 a year, and you can cancel any time. So that is the one that I've gone for, because I know I'm not going to cancel, but you've got the choice, but it's £5 per year. If you want to just go for the 1-year membership without the auto renewal, it's £10 a year. The benefits are huge on this. You're going to get 10% off every plant and accessory, and accessories include compost. You get 5% off every outdoor living and gifts order, and that includes things like lawnmowers, things like that, and you get £20 worth of vouchers that you can spend throughout the year, one every 3 months, and many other benefits as well. So promise me you'll join the club, because it's going to save you so much money over the next 12 months. We have got such a great show. Shall we begin? I know you spotted those Cordylines, you have to wait for those. By the way, in terms of watching us, well, obviously you've found us, so you know how to watch us, but there may be some other options you're not familiar with. YouTube, if you've got the YouTube app on your smart TV, that for me is the best way, because then you can watch on the big telly and order on your tablet, but we stream live on Facebook and on the YouGarden website, of course, as well. But we're going to start with the most popular plant today. It is the set of 3 Rudbeckia Little Gold Star that's turned out to be a big gold star on today's show at $14.97 with postage included. Do you know what? We've sold more of these, more orders gone through for these than anything else so far.
It doesn't surprise me, Shaun, because again, during lunch I showed you the Rudbeckias in my garden that are flowering at the moment.
You should have sent that picture to Stu.
Yeah, I should have done, but yeah. I mean, my Rudbeckias at the moment, they've been flowering for weeks already. There's weeks worth of buds and flowers to come, and it's a huge patch of gorgeous yellow blooms with these black centres. And where I live in Swaffham, I think I've made every single bee in Swaffham happy because it seems they almost queue up, kind of like aircraft, like just waiting to come down and land on these wonderful flowers. And Rudbeckia are such a rewarding plant and such a simple plant to grow, so undemanding. All they ask, basically, put me somewhere quite bright and sunny, reasonably moisture retentive soil. They'll come up year after year. They're called an herbaceous perennial, and that basically means at the end of the year, November, December time, they'll go brown, they'll go yellow, they'll die down to ground level. They'll sit under the ground, all nice and warm and safe for the winter period. Come the spring, new shoots will come up, and from midsummer right the way into autumn, late autumn, perhaps even early winter, you're going to get these gorgeous, gorgeous yellow flowers on these plants, super healthy leaves, and Shaun's going to show you.
I'm just going to show you one. You get 3 for under £15 with free delivery as well.
And I've seen, we said earlier, I've seen plants of this size for £5.99, £6.99 each, in some places, and the root system. I mean, look at the roots.
I mean, this is going in my next order because I saw Adam's garden. I thought I've got to have a bit of that. But they are so healthy. Every single plant that we're showing you is from the nursery just outside, and just wait to see those roots. Look at that.
I mean, that is
amazing.
That plant just wants to get in the ground, and what I will do is I'll just tease those roots out slightly before you plant it. So just rough the roots out a little bit, and then they'll just start
gently.
to go. That's it, Shaun. Exactly, like just teasing them out, because what they'll do, that means rather than keep going round, they'll start to go out into the soil, and this time of year could not be a more perfect time of year for starting these plants off. I'll tell you for why. The soil has had all summer to warm up,
yes,
so the soil is the warmest it can be. And like us, you don't want to get into a cold bed. These don't want to go into cold ground. So they're going to go into that warm soil. We've had quite a lot of rain this year, so the soil is nice and moist. We've still got reasonably long days. Yeah. And it means these plants will get their roots down into the ground. They'll get themselves established before winter, meaning next spring, they're going to zoom away for you and gradually spread out and just give you these joyful patches of gorgeous, gorgeous yellow flowers. And Shaun was mentioning on an earlier show about some pansies that on a dull day still seem to light up the world. These, even on a dull summer's day, because they're so bright, because they're so yellow, almost like they're emitting their own sunlight.
And I saw Adam's garden. If you've got gaps and you don't want to constantly be buying, your summer bedding, things like that, these will fill those gaps magnificently. All of our hardy plants, by the way, do come with a lifetime guarantee. If you ever lose one of them, if it ever doesn't perform like we say, just get in touch with our customer service and we will replace it. All you pay is the postage. You have got that massive guarantee as well. One more thing I want to mention, postage-wise, obviously these are free, but if you're putting together a big order and some of the items do have postage, you'll only pay one postage, which will be the highest item. So if you get something big and it's say $6.99 postage, that's what you'll pay for your entire order. But do get those today, because obviously, our live shows are also repeated, and also obviously people stream them throughout the week on YouTube and on our website. But if you're watching live right now, definitely go for those.
And one more thing I just want to say about them, Shaun, as well. If you hate staking things and you don't like to see sticks and supports and things between plants, these don't even need staking. They support themselves. So, for a plant that has such small needs, they really will give you such an incredible reward and such amazing results.
God. By the way, just say hello to my mum. She likes you, Adam.
Hey, hello.
Yeah, Carol. She's called.
Hi, Carol.
Hello. My mum's so glad to
I look forward to meeting you one day, hopefully.
She feels she knows you. She's seen you on the TV so much. So that is an absolute steal. Grab it right now, 561050. You get all 3 of those. Big established plants are only going to get bigger, and it works out less than £5 each, and you will get your gift worth $4.99 as well. You're blooming fast, which is absolutely amazing. Now we introduced these on our earlier show, and you absolutely love them. It looks like you really like the Tango, because these are the Pansy Tango Magic. I wish I could dance. We're both rubbish, but the colour of these is magnificent. And we were saying on those dark, dull winter days to look out in the garden and see these beautiful, bright flowers.
Yeah, they will lift your mood, won't they?
They really will.
On those sort of darkest, even on those, I don't even want to mention it really, but those really murky, misty, kind of foggy days, these will kind of shine out through that gloom, through that doom, and they'll make you smile. They really will. And
they really are garden ready, aren't they?
They are garden ready. They're very hardy. They're compact plants. They're slightly fragrant. And look at the root system again on there, Shaun. Absolutely staggering.
Well, occasionally, I have bought plants from the supermarket and I've regretted it, because I've got them home, pulled them out of the trays, and half the compost suddenly fall away, and you realise that they've got really shallow roots, and then it's really difficult to get them started.
Yeah, because you shock the plant.
Yeah.
Once the roots are disturbed, it arrests. The word is arresting. It arrests their development. These, because they've got that solid root system there. As soon as they get into the soil, into the compost, those roots are going to connect with the ground. They're going to get established. And another good thing with pansies as well, it's always best to get them established early in the autumn. If you leave it till late, when the ground's cold, the air's cold, the nights are long, they really struggle to get going. Get them going now, and they'll have their suit of armour on, kind of ready to deal with the winter.
I've made that mistake, and then they're just dormant for a while. Get them in now, and you are going to have the most amazing displays. And the colour there, so a lot of you ordered these earlier, and I just think sometimes to plant en masse, when you've just got one massive colour, can be amazing. But we have got other bulbs and things, like Allium's coming up, that would go really well with those.
Yeah, and also having a strong colour like this, also if you want to be, gives you an option to be a bit arty as well if you want with these, because you can contrast these with something that's a really, really sort of opposite colour even. Or you can think about, say, planting deep ruby red wallflowers between these.
Oh, that'd
so
be
you've
nice.
got those dark red wallflowers, then you've got these wonderful, wonderful bright orange pansies underneath.
Amazing.
Or the crocuses we're going to show you look gorgeous coming up between these as well. So the world's your oyster with these.
My mum's visually impaired, and bright colours, when she's sat inside her conservatory, if she plants bright colours outside, she can really see them, which is really nice as well.
We used to, because years ago, not so long ago,
we did Century Garden,
a garden that guide dogs,
Yes,
for
I
guide
saw,
dogs.
yeah.
And one of the things there that was very important for us was to plant very brightly coloured plants, because people with impaired vision quite often can still pick up on these really, really bright colours. And also, something else you need to think about, fragrance. Which is good for people with visual impairment. These are slightly fragrant as well. So you've got fragrance, you've got colour, you've got durability, and you've just got those just gorgeous, gorgeous flowers.
I'm very excited about those. Another thing in my basket. 401206, just £12.98. I know a lot of you are ordering online, of course, YouGarden.com, but if you do give us a call, it's just a local rate charge. I think it's about, I know it is, it's 5 pence per minute, plus your access charge as well if you wanted to give us a call. But I mentioned Alliums. We have got the most spectacular collection of Alliums, 100 of these gorgeous bulbs. I'll let Adam pronounce the names on this.
Scolecipherum. I think I've got that sorted out now on one of them.
Did you practice in the break?
I've been practicing during my lunch hour. I put some new teeth in, that's what it was.
You've lost your notes though. Wait.
No, they're under your tablet.
I've got to say, because...
Notes? We don't have notes.
Well, actually, they're not notes. This is the bag they're
It's the contents.
Yeah, so they're actually all listed. You might be able to pronounce these at home, but I'm going to hand over to Adam. I'll do the first one. Purple Sensation.
That was the last one. That's the bottom of the list. But yeah,
I know it's the easiest one.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole mix in here. There's an Allium. Well, the ones that are like fireworks. That's Christophii. Absolutely adore those ones. And then the Scolecipherum. They're not actually in that picture, actually. But you've got Purple Sensation, which are the really tall ones with the tennis ball kind of. These are Allium molly type as well. The smaller ones. Purple Sensation here, and these flower for you about May time, when about the Chelsea Flower Show time. They will come up year after year after year. And another good thing about these bulbs is they will grow in, this is my favourite, Nectroscordum, this one, those lovely bell-shaped flowers there with those wonderful, wonderful colours. And the good thing about these, they'll come up year after year after year, and they'll grow in very poor soils. They'll grow in sandy soils, dry soils, gravelly soils. Allium molly, the little yellow one you see here, can also come in pink or white Allium molly, but we've got yellow in this collection. And these will spread, these will divide, so you'll get more and more flowers year on year.
I love them.
That's the Scolecipherum, sorry. There we go.
What's it called again?
Scolecipherum.
But I've got
Pretty
these in
much
my
demo.
garden. It was Peter McDermott, who owns YouGarden, that I've worked with for nearly 2 decades, and he introduced me to Alliums, and he said, you will never, ever not want them in your garden, and he was so, so right. And the great thing is, it's 100 bulbs, works at 15 pence a bulb, and even when the flowers go over, the seed heads are amazing, aren't they?
Yeah, the structure of the seed heads is phenomenal. So you can leave them in because they bring just as much joy, really.
You do.
And if you leave them, you can leave them through the winter time, and when they're covered in frost, or really heavy dew in the mornings, and they glisten, they bring another kind of type of magic to the garden.
And if you are quite crafty and arty, you can cut them once they dry, and you can do all sorts of.
You could spray them different colours. Yeah, you could put glitter on them. You could have them for Christmas decorations.
Yeah, you could actually.
Yeah, you could do all sorts of things.
And I hope you go for those. I'd love you to plant them and to grow them them and see how you get on with them.
Great for children as well. These great if you trying to get children or grandchildren in gardening, because they're really easy bulbs to grow and establish. And
I bet the kids are quite very fascinated and attracted by the size and the shape.
Yeah, exactly. And the fact that they're going to get a result from these as well. And I always say, when you plant a bulb, you plant a promise, because in the middle of every bulb, there's already a little tiny embryonic flower just waiting in the middle of that bulb for you to put it in the ground. And because these are quality bulbs, you're going to get those flowers in the first year.
And now is the time to plant. Having said that, sometimes I have planted bulbs really late. A friend of mine said, well, hang on, they're better in the ground than in a bag. So sometimes I've even planted bulbs December, January, which is, I know it's late, but they've still come up.
Yeah,
you know?
that's well. I mean, it's a rule.
Better to plant them early, though, isn't it?
Although apart from tulips you can. You can get tulips now, but plant tulips from about November onwards. But daffodils, all the other bulbs can go in pretty much now if you want them to.
Now, cannot wait to share the next item.
You can
I got
wait.
really excited about these. Craig, who helps put the show together, he brought these out early, and I was like, wow, they are amazing. You get 3 of these. I love Cordylines, but this is the Can Can. I do feel like dancing. I could probably manage the Can Can. But it's 1997 for all 3. And you've probably noticed straight away at home that the leaves are different colours on these.
Yeah, the leaves.
How incredible is it?
As they mature, so the new leaves that come through, a bit like acers, for example, Japanese maples, when the new leaves come through, they are this vibrant pinky red colour. In fact, there's pinks, there's purples, there's reds, there's all sorts of...
hang on.
No, we're all right, Shaun.
Hang on, because these are big actually for the price you're paying. Amazing, but look at this. So the new leaves
come through that deep reddy
right
pink colour. That's right. And then as the leaves mature, the middle of the leaf finally turns green, and the outside of the leaf is a sort of a nice kind of white, kind of off-white colour, if you like. So
I've never seen this before.
Yeah, it looks like you've got 2 different plants in one pot, but this is just the way the foliage colour changes.
And it always does that, even when it gets mature.
All the new leaves always come through
red, and they'll always go green.
Yeah, always go green. It's a bit like that other plant that everyone grows now, the red robin, Photinia. The leaves on that, they're the same kind of principle. They start red and then they turn green.
And I love my Photinias, I really do.
I tell you, can we pull that out of the pot, that one? Because I'm just wondering.
I'm buying these, by the way.
Because if we can get it out of the pot, because I'm just thinking, look at that. Brilliant. I mean, I always like to do this because I love to show you the root system on these things, because that shows you what a healthy plant this is, what a happy plant this is, by that fantastic root system on there.
I mean, 3 of these.
Look at that.
For 1997, it works about £6.66 each. Look at those roots, and you can see some really big, strong roots there, ready to be planted. Now, we were talking about Cordylines, and we've just been honest with you. It was a really harsh winter. Some people did lose the Cordylines because it was exceptionally cold.
That was probably, I mean...
It was the coldest winter.
And it was about a 1 in 15 year event to lose them, to be honest.
But I'm right in saying, if it is really cold, just tie them up and fleece them,
that's it.
I mean, normally they're fine, but it was just such a cold winter, wasn't it?
Just loosely tie them and put fleece around, not just once or twice, really, really sort of loads and loads of times around the fleece. Tie the fleece off at the top, and that will just give them that little bit of protection to bring them through the winter.
Or maybe put them in pots for this, this first winter, and then put them in the ground next year. But, I mean, seriously, they're beautiful. And what I love about Cordylines, you don't have to do anything, do you?
No,
you don't,
just
you
leave
get a few dead leaves at the bottom, you chop them off and a stem appears,
eventually they become like a they're called cabbage palm, is a common name, because eventually they form this trunk, and then the leaves are just at the top, so they almost look like a palm tree. And they do flower as well eventually if they're very, very happy. When they get really big, they send out these huge, great big sort of flower heads with hundreds and hundreds of little white scented flowers on, which again the bees love. But you don't need to let them flower. And if they get tall in the long run, too tall for you, you can be quite radical with them actually. You can just chop them in half, cut halfway down the stem, and people think you've gone mad because you chopped the top off, but they'll reshoot all the way round and start all over again. So really tough plants, and great plants for a central display in the middle of a flower bed or in the middle of a pot, or even a hanging basket really to start with the first year or so.
And I think if you've got maybe, some people have got quite minimalist gardens, they're just really neat in pots, don't they? As you can see there.
That you could put. I mean, that's a lovely pot that's in, Shaun. But what you could do for a little bit of drama with that as well, you could just put white gravel underneath that.
Yes.
So you kind of highlight in the colour of the foliage.
But I love the fact that you get the two colours. The new growth is pink, and then the older growth is that green and the cream.
And very drought tolerant as well. So if you go away for a couple of weeks and these are dry, you're not going to lose these in a couple of weeks. You'd have to leave these to dry out for a month or so before they'd give up the ghost. They really, really are tough. And even at the end of the winter, and say we're always honest with you on here, at the end of the winter, they might look a little bit shabby, some of the lower leaves, but you could just pull those leaves off. And once they get going in the spring, they grow really, really fast. You're going to get masses of these fresh, new, dark, pinky red leaves very quickly in the spring, and just bringing back all the drama for you.
I mean, I think they're amazing value. I didn't even know this one existed. I've got quite a few cordylines in my garden, brown ones, green ones, solid pink ones, but not this, where you get the two colours. Let us know if you love this. You can be part of the show. Stu is head of tech here, and he's monitoring messaging things, but you can message us, of course, on Facebook with Facebook Live right now. But thank you for joining us, and honestly, you're just going to see more and more of YouGarden TV. We've got a great start, and there's so much happening behind the scenes. There really, really is.
I think it's so great to think if we could send a drone up where we are now, we're in the middle of this most gorgeous nursery, surrounded by plants.
11 acres.
The amazing Lincolnshire countryside all the way around us. This is such an idyllic spot, and it just infuses us to be here because it is such a beautiful place.
So all the plants, they're here, they're picked from here. Many of them are obviously grown here. So we keep a really great eye on the quality. We are also, as a nursery, we try to be as environmentally friendly as possible. So we've built a huge reservoir, and that's saved us millions of litres of watering a year. We use all packaging that is recyclable. Our lifting vehicles are electric. Now there's a reservoir. So we really are doing our best to help with the environment as well. But we just bring you amazing plants at amazing prices, and we offer a lifetime guarantee on all of our hardy plants as well. So loads of reasons to shop with us, but remember, to get the best deals, you have to, as you place your order, pop in the code, which is a special promo code, which is YGTV9, and that will give you your free gift, your Blooming Fast, and any other promotions that apply to the TV shows as well. I think they're going to be one of the top sellers today.
It wouldn't surprise me,
anyway.
because
I'm definitely buying them.
Whether you're putting winter bedding around those pansies, for example, wallflowers, bulbs, or whether you're putting summer bedding around those, they're always going to look good all the year through, and they just make such a great central plant for a flower bed or a pot or a planter. And as I said a moment ago, for the first year or even the second year, you could have them in a hanging basket.
You could until they get too
and then
big.
just transplant them into the garden later on. So lots of options with these. But
I think amazing. Right, we said YouGarden, gardening for everybody. Maybe you've not got a huge garden. Maybe you've just got a little balcony. For many years I lived in an apartment in Leeds, and I just had a little balcony. It was the best balcony on the block, though, I have to say. Well, a lot of the people didn't bother at all, and I was there with all these pots and plants. I crammed it as much as I could. But we've got a couple of items here that just make gardening really easy. So we're going to start off with our drop-in bulb planters, and you get 2 of these for $19.99. So this is it's so easy. So the bulbs are already in there, aren't they?
Yeah, and you mentioned about recycling packaging as well. You actually plant the bulbs in the packaging they come in, so there's nothing to throw away.
Great. So all you do is add your compost, and obviously we've got that on the show.
So what's happened here, Shaun, is in that egg box-like container, we have put different types of bulbs in for you. We've got actually tulips in here, we've got crocuses, we've got pushkinia, we've got all different types of spring bulbs in different amounts, but they've been placed in such a way so they'll come up in the right height combination. And all you've got to do, a little bit of soil at the bottom of the planter, lay the tray in with all the bulbs just as they are. You don't need to do anything with them, just lay them down on the top of the compost back on the top, give the whole thing a really good soak, and in the spring it'll come up in that perfectly coordinated display, and you don't need to fret about getting that arrangement right. It's done for you.
So they've been placed in exactly
where you want them to be.
Yeah, the right position to give you the best shows. And I tell you what, it's just such an easy way of gardening. I think these make a really nice gift actually as well. If you've got a birthday coming up, if you've got some sort of occasion and you want to give something really thoughtful. Now, so you get the 2 planting, what do you call them? I always call them...
I've always called them planting trays.
Yes, I have, yeah. Drop-in planting trays. But if you haven't got any window boxes for them to drop into, we have got those today as well. Now we've got a deal on these. These are the terracotta Leonardo window boxes, $7.99 each, or if you go for 2 of them, you do get a discount and the price will come down to $11.98. And this is the perfect accompaniment to the planting trays.
It is, because these will just fit in absolutely perfectly. I mean, if I lift it up this way round, you can see there. You can see there. Yeah, they just fit in there absolutely perfectly. So just 2 or 3 inches of compost on the bottom, then drop the tray in on top. Obviously, take the outer packaging off. More compost on top, and that's water really, really well, and that's it. And then all these bulbs will come up at whatever time suits them to give you this wonderful ongoing display in the spring.
I mean, makes it so easy. So say YouGarden, gardening for everybody. All you need is compost. We've got that on the show as well on special offer today, and you are ready to go. But so I think they're a lovely gift as well. So if you'd like to go for the fast drop in bulb planters with all the bulbs in there, $19.99, you get 2 of them, and then you can add the Leonardo window boxes to your order as well.
And then next spring, all you need to do is, once the last bulbs have finished flowering, just pop these around the back of the shed somewhere out of sight. Just leave them pretty much, and then just take the dead leaves off when they're finished, and then late summer or early autumn bring them back out,
and they do it all again.
And they come up again. Happy
days. Now you've probably noticed, I'm sure you have noticed, our gorgeous hanging baskets at the front of the set. These are incredible. I know loads of you ordered them earlier on today, and it is the pair of absolutely stunning gorgeous Pansy Cool Wave, and you are getting them all pre-planted already. This is it. What you see is what you get with these. Normally only £50. We've got them for $29.98, and you've got that fabulous palette of purples and whites. They're really cool. They're really tranquil. I think there's something really classy about these, and I love the fact that they're in the wicker baskets as well. And Adam, this type of pansy, the Cool Wave, it's an incredible variety and breed, isn't it?
It is an incredible variety, Shaun, because the longevity of the flowering season is amazing. The vigour of the plants is amazing.
We say 9 months, don't we? Up to 9 months.
Yeah, 9 months. The fact that almost every flower is individually coloured, uniquely coloured. There's almost no 2 flowers that are exactly the same. And I like the fact that some of them are kind of almost like one colour. Some have got 2 or 3 colours in. Some are bicoloured. They slightly cascade over the side of the pot as well, the hanging basket. And earlier on we noticed they're fragranced. Now I'm not going to say to you they're fragranced like Lily of the Valley or Phrygias or lilies, but if you actually get your nose down to them, you can smell.
There's our nose, we're right down there now.
Yeah, quite
smell that at home.
Sweet little fragrance from these. And they've just got those happy faces, providing you with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of flowers for many, many months. And water these, feed these, use our Blooming Fast fertiliser, because any plants that are in a container have a finite amount of nutrients and soil to draw upon. So feed them, that will keep them happy, that will keep them flowering. And don't think of these as just sort of one-hit throwaway bedding plants. When they're finished flowering, are normally kind of mid-spring to early summer. That's when they start to sort of go over a little bit. Just trim off most of the foliage on the top down to about ½ an inch. Pop this hanging basket somewhere cool, keep it moist for the rest of the summer. Start feeding a little later in the summer, and this time of year they'll start to reshoot again, and they'll give you all this glorious colour all over again.
Oh. They are fabulous, and we did actually have the Pansy Cool Wave as our plant of the month. They've completely sold out, I'll be honest. We don't know when we'll be able to get them back. We're hoping maybe the end of September, but I can't promise. What I will say is you can get the incredible Pansy Cool Wave in the berries and cream, all planted up, all the work's been done. And I know a lot, I'm sure many of you are great gardeners. I can put together a really nice hanging basket, but it's a lot of work. And I'll still make some hanging baskets, but I like the idea of getting 2 kind of cheeky ones that are already done for me. They look so good.
Work, and it's waiting as well. You don't need to wait for these. When you open the box.
You're an impatient gardener, aren't you?
Well, yeah, sometimes. I do like to wait for certain things, but this time of year, when that summer baskets have gone over and they're looking a little bit sad, I don't really want to be planting up hanging baskets with pansies and then waiting until sort of October, November. And then sometimes, if they're not established already by then, they don't really take off.
No.
They kind of just sit
Yeah.
there. And ironically, they tend to look best late spring, just when you kind of want to put the other things
Put
there.
the summer bedding
in. So buying
it's so
them,
true. I've been there, you know. Sometimes I thought, oh my word, it's taken all, you know,
Now
all
finally
winter.
got there, now I've got to get rid of them.
Yeah, from the baskets look good. So these are ready right now. I mean, we're having, in our home, we're having an end of summer party on the, I thought I was going to give you the date there and invite you, but yeah, so you lovely viewers, come to my end of summer party. But we are having a party in September just for the neighbours and things like that. And I want the garden to look amazing. And some of my baskets, they have gone over a bit. You know, they're not at the best. So if you're in the same situation, you can replace them right now and get a head start on winter as well. But you do need to be quick for those. 450156. You're going to get 2 for $29.98. Just when we talk about the postage, you're going to pay $6.99. That will cover your entire order, don't forget. So you'll only pay one postage, whatever the highest postage is, will cover your entire order. So it really does work out the best value to put loads in your basket and to check out in one go. Right, come and join us over here because we've got one of my favourite palms of all time on the show today. This is pretty much impossible to, well, I'm not saying possible, it's really hard to go wrong with this, isn't it?
It is.
It really
yeah.
is.
I mean, drought-wise, this is very, very, very drought-tolerant, which is fantastic. Hardy down to about -5, but this is the Phoenix canariensis, or Canary Island date palm, and it's almost extinct in the wild, which is really, really sad.
I didn't realise it. Is it? How sad?
Yeah, it's very, very rare in its
Wow.
native habitat now. It's not extinct, but it's on the threatened list.
Okay.
So when you're growing something like this, you're actually helping to keep this species alive. You're keeping this species going, and it's a very fast-growing palm in the UK as well, providing you put it in a warm, sunny position, and it gives that drama. It just gives that wonderful kind of statement feeling to beds, to borders, to pots, to planters. And I would grow this in a pot personally, because if you get very cold weather, you can just put it somewhere, you know, to keep the worst of the frost away
quite
from it.
often just putting it against a wall, an outside wall, where you get a little bit of heat through it. You know?
And most winters, this will get through winters, to be honest.
I've had mine. Oh God, I've had some of mine like 15 years.
I've seen some giant ones of these
yeah.
as well.
Well, Stu, our head of technical, he showed me his. He bought one this size from YouGarden 12 years ago, and he's got this huge thing in his garden. That looks amazing.
Yeah, well, I can think of some down in Kent that you can stand under. They're that tall.
Really?
Yeah, and also, where else?
Because they do produce a stem eventually, don't they?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, like a sort of a pineapple-looking type of trunk, and also Felixstowe. I remember going down to Felixstowe with my other half, and we parked in this car park, and I just saw these huge, massive leaves coming over this wall. So I wasn't interested in going shopping. That's what we went there for. I ran across the car park, and I managed to see through one of these gates, and it was one of these massive Phoenix canariensis with a trunk probably taller than me. The actual trunk, it was huge. Now that's Felixstowe. That's kind of Norfolk, Norfolk, Suffolk area. So do get really cold winters there, but that plant had made it. That plant had survived.
I've got various palms in my garden. I've got things like Washingtonias, and I love all the palms, but like some of them, the leaves do get really tatty and get shredded in the winds and things. These leaves tend to be a bit more solid.
Yeah,
don't they?
These are quite tough. When you feel these leaves, they do feel quite rigid,
yes.
and almost like plasticky, but in a kind of a nice way, really. But yeah, that's a tough plant. That's going to sort of put up with the wind, and obviously.
And you say drought tolerant.
Very drought tolerant, and
which wasn't really that important this year, but last summer.
yeah.
When it didn't rain for 2 months, so
and this can take endless amount of heat as well. But it comes from the Canary Islands.
Yeah,
it's not going to get burnt or scorched by the sun, but it will give you that drama. And if I just take it out of the
it
pot
doesn't
here,
come in the wicker pot. They're coming up a little bit later.
But if I just pop that on there,
this is how it arrives. So there's a stem form.
Yeah, I mean it's already starting to form a little trunk there, and year on year that trunk will gradually get higher and higher, and the leaves year on year will gradually get bigger and bigger. In fact, the leaves on this, when it sort of gets to quite a semi-mature size, the leaves can be sort of nearly 2.5 metres long. Yeah. Really dramatic leaves. And as I say, I've seen them in Felixstowe, I've seen them in Kent, I've seen them down on the south coast, I've seen lots of these in London. Really, really proper big sizes like you would see growing abroad. So you can, with love, with patience, with time, get some dramatic results from growing this palm.
And postage is included on those as well. If you have just joined us, by the way, lovely to have certainly couldn't be. Thank you for joining YouGarden TV. We're with you now every Wednesday, 10 till midday and 2 till 4, also on a Thursday, and the best of on a Sunday. Now the pots, we did quickly mention the pots. I've got these, and my mum's got them actually. And I found, like, my mum's garden's quite traditional, mine's quite modern, and yet they work well
shall I just bring that up a bit?
There's one there. That Pride of Madeira is coming up a little bit later. But you actually get a pair of the wicker textured planters. I don't know, wicked, I'm trying to keep up with the kids there, wicked. But the wicker textured planters, two of those for just £9.99.
Oh, they're gorgeous.
They're really nice,
aren't they?
I like them, really like them.
Yeah, just really sort of classic design there, just really interesting design, almost like a sort of a brickwork pattern, really like a herringbone or a kind of look on that. And I like the rim at the top there as well, so nice and easy to pick these up because you've got that rim there to lift up. And of course UV resistant, frost resistant, lightweight. These are not going to wick away the moisture either as well, so moisture retentive and not going to fade. You're going to, they're going to look this good year after year after year. And this little palm,
we'll say it looks perfect in there, doesn't it?
And it would be, so if you bought the palm and you've got the pots, this would actually be okay in this pot for a good 2 or 3 years. In fact, it would be a nice little environment to get it established in. Then once you see the roots start to come out the bottom, then you can transplant it into the garden and leave it in the garden permanently.
I really like those. So I've got them myself, my mum's got them, and we do get a lot of great pots actually with YouGarden, and you get a pair of those for £9.99. 200387 is your item number. And then next to this, you may have spotted.
So I was checking for a price on the bottom of this.
That's all right.
Earlier on, I picked up a pot, and one pot was almost as much as we were giving you the price for two on the screen.
We are going to continuously have great deals on the TV shows. Always remember, you've got to put YGTV9. That's the code today. It changes it, on a regular basis, but the code today is that, and that will give you all the offers and your free Blooming Fast, which is worth £4.99. It's a brilliant fertiliser. But let's talk about, we've got a really great deal, and we're literally clearing the last of the stock of these, and it is at Echium, Pride and Madeira. And I told you, Adam, I actually bought a few of these.
I'm hidden behind it, there we go.
There you go.
I'm here.
Look at the size of this beauty.
Isn't that stunning?
It's stunning. I'm going to give you the details because you might be thinking that's what, going to be £35, £40, £29.99 would be good. Even £24.99 for this would be fantastic. But obviously, the nursery always is rotating plants. We've got the last few of these, and you can buy it today for £14.99. I always wanted one of these because I saw them. It was in Madeira where I first saw them actually on a cruise. And there were these massive spikes of blue flowers that were unbelievable.
An incredible blue, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really, really
and it's
piercing
the size of them as well.
Yeah. And the bees. The bees absolutely go berserk for them.
I bet they do.
Yeah. And the plant we've got actually here in the studio looks dramatic just as it is, even without the flowers. We've got these
it looks lovely.
Gorgeous, like lanceolate kind of long leaves, these lovely kind of furry leaves. It's a multi-stem plant as well. And if you think that looks elegant, just imagine when next year or the year after, it just sends up 4 or 5 of these wonderful flower spikes on the top of each stem. And these flower spikes will last for week after week after week after week, bringing you that drama, bringing you that interest, creating a talking point in your garden, to be quite honest with you, and bringing in butterflies, bringing in bees. Each individual flower there full of nectar, full of pollen, and blue is still a very unusual colour. There's not a lot of plants we grow in this country that are really, really blue.
You are
to be honest.
So right.
Like Ceanothus is a really, really sort of deep blue, for instance.
Yeah, I love that.
But a lot of things we say are blue, but they're kind of more purpley. I mean, this looks
or
mauve. This is a really, really lovely blue colour.
Now, we want you to make the most of this. It's harder to -5, isn't it?
It is, yes, yeah. So, and it likes a really well-drained shelter position. So, and it'll grow in quite poor soil. It doesn't need rich soil. It'll grow in sandy soils, gravelly soils, stony soils. In fact, if you put it into a soil that is too rich, you'll just get a huge plant with masses of leaves, and it won't flower so well. So, if you put it in poor soil, it will force it into flowering. It will be more compact, but it will flower more. So, it's not a plant that needs spoiling. It's not a plant that needs fuss. All it needs is shelter and warmth. But again, if you want to give it a try and you live in a colder area, area, just put it in a pot, and then when the weather turns really cold, it doesn't need to be warm, you don't need to be spending money on heating a greenhouse or anything. As long as you keep it somewhere just around freezing, or even just below, like a garage or somewhere, it will be fine. That's all you need to do. And then bring it back out in the spring, and with the warmth of the summer. And we always tell you as it is here, at the end of the winter, it might look a little bit tatty. Some of the leaves might have gone a bit sad looking. It'll have the winter blues. Don't worry about that. Those old leaves will drop off as soon as the sun starts to get up in the sky and those day length expands. New leaves will come, and by the middle of the summer, it will look as gorgeous and as lush and as fresh as it is now. But of course, it will have those flower spikes.
I think it's a really exciting plant, and here at YouGarden, it's all about great deals, but also bringing you some of the unusual varieties that you won't maybe see in your regular garden centres. Now, no surprises, we have got to go back to the Cordyline Can Cans. We knew you'd love these. Seriously, when I first saw them, I was amazed. I've got lots of cordylines in my garden, but I haven't got this variety called the Can Can, and it's two colours, isn't it?
Well, it
it's more actually, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it starts off, the new leaves in the centre.
I'll show you, I'll just get one of these.
Always start off this deep, reddy pink colour, sort of red, purple, almost a little hint of orange there.
So they're slightly intertwined there. So there's the middle leaves.
I'll tell you the problem with these, Shaun.
They're big, aren't they?
They're huge plants in small pots.
They are, and they're too big for our counter,
they're
actually.
just dying to get into the ground. But yeah, the new leaves always come out this stunning, deep, pinky red colour, and then as they mature, those leaves will fade down and eventually become green with that kind of marbling or variegation along the edge of the leaves.
Like that leaf, you've still got the pink in the centre, but then I think that's incredible.
Yeah, and what will happen is, sometimes when these have been grown in people's gardens, some of my customers say to me, I'm a little bit worried about my cordylines, Adam, because the lower leaves are starting to turn yellow and look a little bit sad. That is completely and utterly natural, because as the middle of the plant grows, the lower leaves will always start to turn yellow. You just pull those leaves off when they've turned yellow, and eventually it will start to form a stem. Hence, it's got a common name called cabbage palm, because it will look like a palm tree eventually. Yeah. So you might have a 3 or 4 foot bare stem with this gorgeous, great big head of foliage on the top, looking just like a palm tree. And if they're very happy, they might even flower for you.
Now, at this stage in their life, when they're a bit more compact and small, you can put them in the centre of pots.
Hanging basket?
Yeah, I was going to say, you said hanging basket. Certainly for the first year or so you could do that, but they will get bigger and bigger and bigger and form that stem. Being honest, quite a few of us lost cordylines this winter, which was very unusual. That doesn't normally happen, but we had some really long cold spells and temperatures got really low. Where I live, it got down to -8, -9. If it is cold again, you should actually tie them up gently and just fleece them for the first, few years.
Exactly, yeah. And you get the horticultural fleece, and not just one layer. Go round and round and round and round and round, and then just tie off the top. And the horticultural fleece is great because it still lets the light through. That will just give them the protection they need, and then you can take it off in the spring, and they'll grow away again.
You might not need it this year. We never know what the winter's going to be. We've had winters in the last 5 years where we didn't even get a frost. You just don't know.
I mean, you mentioned about losing the cordylines. That was probably about a 1 in 15 year event, because I've got some customers that had some huge, great big cordylines that they lost, and they've been there 15, 20 years. So, to be honest, we can't guarantee anything in life, can we really? And for something as beautiful as this, if I could enjoy it for 15 years, and then I might lose it in the 16th year, well, you know what? I'm going to take a chance and enjoy those 15 years, to be honest.
And all of our hardy plants, by the way, do come with a lifetime guarantee as well. So if you ever lose a hardy plant, give us a call, get in touch with our call centre, and we will replace it. All you pay is the postage, which is fantastic. I think they're brilliant. I'm going to be ordering those. Since working here at YouGarden, I have placed quite a few orders already, but they are definitely going in my basket. I'll be honest, I've been making a list today. I'm going to do it all in one go.
Well, these would be ideal in your garden, Shaun, because I know in parts of your garden you've got quite dry, kind of stony, gravelly soil.
And I'm trying to create a tropical area, and these lend themselves to that.
They would. And you mentioned about you've got a eucalyptus tree. Again, providing there's a reasonable amount of light coming through under there and some sunshine coming through, they would probably do well under there as well, because they'd like the shelter and the protection.
I've not thought of that.
But but also they'd enjoy the nice drainage under there.
Oh,
so
right. Well, I might try that then.
So quite happy there.
By the way, if you want to be part of the show, don't forget we stream live on Facebook, YouTube, obviously on the YouGarden website now, yougarden.com. We would love you to be part of the show. And thank you to everyone. We're getting quite a regular following now, and it's only going to get busier by the looks of things. But it's such a lovely place to be here at YouGarden in the nursery. And one thing I will say is, you know what you like today, because Rebecca, we're going to go back to that. And we were talking earlier, Adam, and we can see why you love this so much, because you're going to get 3 of them. They're ready to go. Now's a great time for planting, as we head into autumn. It's September the 1st tomorrow.
Yes.
I know. So autumn is on its way. But it's a great time to plant. And I want to share this because we've got 3 of the Rudbeckia. They're all in 9cm pots. They may be in flower. I've seen these out in the nursery because we're in the middle of the nursery right now. I've seen these out and about.
Look at the vigour of that.
Flower, but there.
Look at that.
Strong, healthy plants.
Super strong plants.
Look at
this. And the root system, I mean, that's making me laugh, honestly. It's ridiculous. I mean, it's absolutely such a stunning root system there. So as soon as this plant gets in the ground, it's going to root away, it's going to become established.
And as Anderson, you might want to gently just sort of like tease some of those roots out, just to encourage them in the right direction so they don't keep going round and round, just very gentle so you don't want to damage them. But you've got these in your garden. I wish you'd shown that picture.
Yeah, I should have done, shouldn't I? Well, no.
I tell you, at some point, if you've got time, nip out and get your phone and share it with us, because Adam's got these in his garden and they are spectacular. They're huge now as well.
They are, yeah. I mean, these will get to about 40, 50 centimetres, these ones, and they spread as well. They kind of almost send out little runners under the soil. So one little group will become a bigger group. And they're so easy to grow. All they ask for, put them somewhere reasonably bright and sunny. Part shade is fine. A soil that's reasonably moisture retentive. They don't like a really dry soil, but reasonably moist soil will be fine. And they're probably one of the easiest but one of the most rewarding garden perennials you can grow. Plant them now. Optimum time, the soil's as warm as it's going to be because it's been warmed up all summer, it's moist, the day length is still quite long, so they'll get their little roots into the ground now and establish themselves. During the winter time, they die down to ground level. They're what's called an herbaceous perennial. Next spring, they'll come back up from the base, never need staking, which is fantastic as well, so no faffing about staking. And then from midsummer all the way through into autumn, perhaps even late autumn, early winter, this constant flush of wonderful yellow flowers, covered in bees, covered in butterflies, make lovely little cut flowers. And really, there's nothing else for you to do. You plant them, you leave them, you let them grow. Probably the only thing you need to do is cut them down in the winter when they've died back, and that's it. Nothing else to do. Simple.
And they come up year after year after year. So I still love my bedding plants and things like that. But it's really great to have plants, that are the backbones of your beds and borders that just come back and get better and better year after year. So they're another one getting in my basket today. I hope they're getting yours because they are going really quickly actually, with, of course, postage included. Now we've also got, you see these gorgeous pots in front of the Rudbeckia? We've got 10 of these today. And these are lovely because you can have them, if you've got maybe, steps in your garden, you can have them along the steps. If you've got maybe a wall, you can have them along the wall. You can maybe just display them in a certain area. But we have got them at $14.99, and it works out £1.50 each. My word. Seriously, £1.50 each. And they're really attractive, these, aren't they? They look lovely.
I've got one in my hand here, and what I was looking for was a seam. But no seam. These are seamless now. I mean, Shaun and I were sort of plastic plant pot snobs a little while back. We wouldn't have them. No. But this year and last year, I've started using plastic pots in my house plants.
Same here.
And now in my garden, I'm using plastic pots because what I'm fed up with is spending a lot of money on terracotta pots or stone pots that then crack in the winter time.
And I think with climate change, because we've had such extremes in the last few years, 40 degrees, actually quite near here, last summer, and then the winter was freezing. So a lot of, terracotta type pots, they just can't cope with that extreme temperature, can they?
And the stone gets really hot, so it sort of bakes the roots in the summer. They freeze, the soil freezes in the winter and cracks them. They get covered in algae, they lose the moisture. They're silly heavy to move around.
I was going to say, we're not quite as young as we used to be, not quite anyway. So plastic pots, they're really good now in terms of design and engineering, but they're a lot more practical. And I really like this design, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, look how attractive this is. I mean, such a lovely pot there. I like that kind of burnished kind of look to it, that sort of silvery, almost sort of wiry look on there. And again, you've got the little rim around the top there as well, so easy to pick up. You've got your drainage holes in the bottom there as well, so that's going to drain really, really well. And I'm trying to sort of squash this pot, and you can see that is a really, really sort of tough, strong pot there as well. And I just can imagine that with some of our crocuses in, for example, or some of our spring bulbs.
Yes.
That would look just so lovely. Or some of the pansies would look good in there.
Adam, 3 of those in there.
Oh, we've got the colour contrast as well.
Look
at that
they're
gorgeous,
the Tango Magic that we saw earlier.
With that kind of dark brown, that burnishing around the front there, Shaun.
I reckon 3 of those in there, and they'd look fantastic, wouldn't they?
I tell you, we could start something here, couldn't we? Like kind of a little.
But I'm not being funny.
Mix and match.
That's going to cost you, a few pounds to plant up until we actually have the pot, and it's going to look amazing.
And this is going to year year after year after. You don't have to worry about chipping it or breaking it. You don't have to worry about the frost cracking it. If you dropped it, I've dropped it. It just bounced. Now, if I'd have dropped that and it was a terracotta pot, even from here to the desk, it would be crocs now. It would be going in the bottom of another flower pot for drainage. This is tough. This is robust. This is UV resistant, frost resistant, and just so attractive.
And you get 10 of them, so they can all match. You can have them, say, down the sides of steps in your garden and displays. Absolutely amazing. And that is 130470. But we are now just going to go to the top-selling product here at YouGarden for many, many, many years, and it is, of course, our premium professional compost. And, over the years, we've had so many incredible 5-star reviews for this. If you join the club, and I mentioned about the YouGarden discount club, it's £5 for the year on auto renewal, and you can cancel that at any time. You get 10% off this and all the plants we've had on the show. So you'd save an extra £2.50 on this instantly, but also you get all the other benefits. You get your vouchers, you get 5% discount on our hardware and things like that. But it is the best compost that we've ever seen. And Adam is a multi-award winning gardener. He's got an incredible reputation in the industry. And you have used this compost now for so many years, and it never ever fails, does it?
Well, it never fails. Sort of vampires always keep a bit of their home soil in their coffin, don't they? Like if I was a vampire,
I wondered where you were going with that.
I would definitely have this in my vampire coffin to lie on every night because it's gorgeous and it smells so fresh. There's nothing musty. There's nothing mildewy. There's nothing sort of smelling about this.
Because you can open up bags of compost and think, it feels really like, dank and rotting and stale,
And sometimes I've opened a bag of compost and it's almost like solidified. And then you've had to lay it down on the ground and you're banging it with the trowel to try and break it up. And there's bits of sticks in there. And
I think there's a lot of really bad compost out there.
But
and I don't think it's worth, but I'm not going to lie, you will find some compost more affordable than this. But you know what? It's just not worth it. It's not worth spending money on good plants and not giving them the right home to thrive and survive. Now, if you are buying any of the plants and popping them in your beds and borders, I always put a bit of this in there. I don't always.
It's brilliant, Shaun, for all that kind of thing. I mean, we're coming up to the season now for bare root planting, for root ball planting.
We're going to have lots of bare root roses coming up shortly on the shows and things like that.
A great time for transplanting soon as well. If that plant has been annoying you this year because you put that really tall plant at the front of the border, well, September, October is a good time to move it, and you can always incorporate some of this compost into the soil before you replant it to give it a good chance. And also, so next spring, when it hasn't perhaps quite still established itself, that compost will help with moisture retention, so it's going to give that plant much more of a chance to settle back in where you've moved it to.
Now, I know a lot of you have ordered this today. You are going to get your postage included. You get 100 litres into really handy 50-litre bags. I hate the 100-litre bags of compost because they're just not practical. Who can carry 100 litres around the garden? It's just
some
not
of those
easy.
soil-based ones. It's funny you say because I was at a customer a few weeks ago and she had some really old bags of compost near the shed. And these were the soil-based ones as well. And she said, I don't want them now. Can you just spread them around over the garden? It was ridiculous.
Really hard
It
work?
took myself and my other half, 2 of us, to pick them up. They were like, you know, when you pick up those bags of cement, the cement stuff, it was like that. I thought, that's compost. I thought, what are these plants going to do with their poor little roots in this kind of heavy, solid, kind of damp, you know, nasty compost? Whereas this is so lightweight. And I can just imagine if I was a plant now, my roots just, you know, happily going down into this, becoming established. And this lets air in as well. Because it's such an airy mixture, it's important that plants get oxygen to the roots. That's why in a lot of parks and places like that now, around these old, very old trees, these veteran trees, they now put big fences around to stop people walking under the trees, because they realise soil compaction drives out the air.
It's really bad, isn't it?
And that's bad for the trees. And it's the same principle when you're starting off with little seedlings. You know, for a little seedling to become a mighty tree, that needs oxygen right from the start. This compost will allow that to happen, but also this compost keeps things in balance. It will hold on to the moisture for what your plant needs, but also it will drain through properly, so it's not going to be waterlogged, it's not going to be sopping wet all the time, and the roots are going to rot off and, you know, just not develop. And it's a peat reduced compost as well, and this was a peat reduced compost long before other people were talking about reduced peat composts. It's got light and dark peat in there as well, and you might think, okay, so you've been saying, you know, it's great because it's got this light and dark peat in, but you've reduced it by 50%. Well, is it really that good? It is, because what we've substituted the peat reduction with is that composted wood fibre. So that's acting very much like the peat as well. It's giving that open texture. It's giving that body to this. It's letting the air in, letting the oxygen through, letting the moisture through. There's slow release fertiliser in here as well. So that's feeding your plants over a long time. It's pH balanced, which means it's not too acidic, it's not too alkaline, so much greater range of plants will grow in this. And finally...
Oh, there you go. You can see some of that, can't you? The little green balls.
Little green ones there.
Yeah.
And it's got a wetting agent in it. And what that means is it makes the compost want to absorb moisture, like kitchen towel. Sometimes, you and I, Shaun, were saying this, you might buy some plants in pots, pre-planted, they dry out, you go to water the compost, it runs straight off,
and that
doesn't
is
soak in.
And it goes all over you. Yeah, we've all done it. You water the basket. You know.
But this has got a wetting agent, so this compost wants to absorb the moisture, it wants to soak up the moisture, it doesn't want to expel it, it wants to hydrate your plants.
Now we know that, you know, many of your customers, you will buy, you know, 10, 20 bags of this a year, some of you far more than that. If you become a club member, you're going to save 10% every time you buy your compost. That's an extra £2.50 today, just on your compost alone. And for those of you that have just joined us, I know, you know, obviously we're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, on the YouGarden website. We have got a special promotion. We always have it on the TV shows, okay? So it's really important that you pop that code in your basket. We call it, well, Peter McDermott, who owns the Nursery, who's presented many of these shows over the years, he calls it the magic key, because when you put that code in your basket, and everyone did that earlier, I'm really pleased, thank you so much, YGTV9, you'll get any extra TV promotions, will just kick in straight away, but most important, you will always get your free gift as well. And today, it is our Blooming Fast, it's our premium fertiliser, worth $4.99. That will make approximately 20 watering cans of premium fertiliser, 20 gallons, about 100 litres that is, isn't it? So an awful lot. So 1 teaspoon mixed with water in your watering can, and you've suddenly got the most amazing liquid plant food. And a little tip. So a few things. So I want you to save money. That's because I am quite a frugal gardener. I hate wasting money. I do on plants. I want to get value. So if you're putting together a big order and several of the items have got postage, it makes sense to do that all in one go, because you'll only pay the one postage for that, and it will be whatever's the heaviest and has got the biggest delivery charge. But if you've got free items when it comes to postage, like the compost, if you were to be a bit cheeky, so if you placed one order of compost right now, you'd get your Blooming Fast. But there's nothing to stop you later on, even a minute later, placing a second order, and you'll still get your Blooming Fast. You get 2 lots. That's a little bit of a, I don't know what to call it. I was going to go a loophole, but it's like, it's a bit naughty. I shouldn't be advertising that fact.
It's called being savvy.
Yeah, I don't know I should be advertising that fact. But anyway, it's true, because I know.
it's a good idea. It's like, yeah.
Isn't it great? Now, Elaine has just, she's on Facebook. Hello, Elaine. She's watching us stream live on Facebook. Now, Elaine doesn't have a lawn, because we talked about planting crocus bulbs in the lawn earlier, which is great. I love that natural look. But she's got a rockery. They'd look great in there, wouldn't they?
They would, and you've just taken me right back to when I was about probably 10, 12 years old.
Wow, we are going back a long time.
About 150 years. And I remember I had a rockery in my garden when I was a kid, and I did plant crocuses in a rockery.
I bet that's amazing.
They look gorgeous, yeah. Because I just, in between like each little group of rocks, I just planted them in little crevices and little groups. And I can remember coming home from school one lunchtime it was early March, and it was one of those first sort of warmish days, and they'd all come fully open. They look absolutely amazing in the rockery. They'll be great in rockeries because they love good drainage.
Yeah.
And
they're relatively small. I mean, I know the ones we've got on the show are a large flower, but they're still the ideal size for rockery.
Perfect, yeah. And plant them about I'd go about 4 inches deep in the rockery, just plant them about 4 inches deep, and they'll come back year after year, and they'll love it. They'll look gorgeous in a rockery.
Yeah. So thank you, Elaine. Thank you for watching us streaming live on Facebook, and I hope you go for the crocuses. We've got loads of bulbs on our website, of course, but the crocuses that we had earlier are magnificent. Now, something that I got when we presented together on our garden bargain shows, I got the Star Jasmine. I paid an awful lot more than what you're paying today, and we've actually got a deal on these. So on the website, so it's $19.99, okay, but if you put 2 in, hang on, it's 2 for $19.99 today. That's ridiculous, isn't it? But you've got to use the code, okay? YGTV9, you have to use that code. So look at that. So we've got 2 in the basket and the blooming faust, and the total cost there just $24.98. Right, I've got to show this because this is a spectacular climber, and I mean, mine is pretty much flowered. I mean, it's as big as this. I remember it's 2 for $19.99. The RRP nearly £40. They're evergreen.
They are evergreen.
And mine's flowered a lot of the summer. Is that normal?
They flower for a long. A bit like the wisterias we were talking about earlier on. They have kind of like a main flowering season.
And then they get
and then they'll keep flowering again every so often. Yeah. And the fragrance on these is gorgeous.
It is
really, really super sweet fragrance.
And there are not many climbers in the garden that are evergreen.
No.
You know, clematis. Well, lots of varieties of them lose the leaves.
I can only think of one evergreen variety of clematis, to be honest.
Yeah, I've got
Armandii is the only one I can think of that's sort of properly evergreen. There's only about 1 or 2 evergreen honeysuckles. So I used to have, when I lived in Bishop Stortford, I used to have one of these growing over my front door. And it just started off in this little bit of soil at the side of the front door between our front doorstep and the neighbour's front doorstep, and it was the driest, most ghastly, dreadful, awful piece of soil. And I put it in there, and even now, when I drive past in the old town where I still work in Bishop Stortford, it's still there, over the front door, over the window. And on a summer's evening, when we used to have the windows open and the fragrance of this wafted in, it was divine. It was absolutely gorgeous.
2 of these for $19.99, but only if you use that code. You've got to put 2 in your basket. So an evergreen climber, because a lot of climbers, when they, I love my clematis, but when they die down in the winter, you've just got loads of better fence, haven't you?
You have, yeah. But with this, it's vigorous, it's drought tolerant, it's frost tolerant, it's evergreen. You've got those incredible flowers. You've got this lovely waxy green foliage, which has another lovely trait to it as well, because in the autumn, the leaves actually start to turn red. They can go a gorgeous reddish colour. In fact,
they're really attractive.
Yeah, they nearly all turn red in the autumn, and then in the spring they revert back to green.
But they don't fall off, you know.
No, they don't. You will find sometimes round about May into early June, you might find suddenly you do get a lot of leaf drop, but don't panic.
That's the new leaves coming through.
Yeah,
isn't it?
what it's doing as it puts out the new leaves, it's finally shedding the old leaves. Because although it's evergreen, it doesn't mean one leaf is going to stay on the plant for the whole of its life. It just means it's always green. But throughout the year, it will get a complete new set of leaves.
Look at those flowers, Adam, and they're so beautifully scented, aren't they?
They are. I mean, the fragrance on these is delicious. I mean, we call them Star Jasmine. They're not strictly a jasmine, but the fragrance is sweet. It's intoxicating. It's absolutely gorgeous.
It's very Jasmine-esque.
It is. I mean, when you think of those very high-end fragrances and stuff, I mean, I'm not saying they do use that in this, but you can imagine it would be the sort of go-to plant that they would go to extract those kind of aromas and those, kind of oils and stuff to create wonderful perfumes. It really, really is a stunning plant. very popular. I mean, you see these all over the place because they'll take really, really cold winters, they'll take very, very hot summers, they'll grow in quite dry positions. The only thing they won't like deep shade, and they won't like really wet, heavy soils. But other than that, really, really easy,
and they'll
really
love being in this
straightforward.
compost.
Love being in this compost.
Mine's in this compost.
Yeah, that'll give them a good start. And you can grow them up trellis work if you want to. You can, where I used to live in Bishop Stortford, I put wires up over the top, so they grew along the wires, and they kind of twist and twine. That's how they grip.
Now I'm thinking of getting a pagoda in my garden when I can afford it. But I love pagodas, and because I'm considered my colouring. My friends call me half ginger. I wonder why. But the sun doesn't like me. I burn very easily. So I like the idea of having a pagoda with giving me a certain amount of shade. But this would look presumably fantastic on a pagoda.
It would look wonderful, Shaun. Yeah, because also even in the winter time, it's going to be nice and evergreen. It's not just going to be load of bare kind of sticks looking really ugly.
In my old house, I had a grapevine growing up my pagoda, which was great. But in the winter, nothing. Just some dead twigs.
No. Whereas this is going to look interesting all the year through.
But you need to put 2 in your basket together to get that discount. We'll just show you again. Oh yeah. So what we've done here, we've popped in 2, as you can see, and that's given us the price of $19.99. It's also, because we've put the special code in, which is YGTV9, it's given us the discount. It's also given us our free blooming fast, and postage, you only pay 1 postage per order. So whatever the highest postage is, that will cover your entire order. And don't forget, you'll get some little prompts to join our discount club. £5 for the year on auto renewal, and you'll get 10% off all of that, and loads of other benefits as well. So it's really worth joining the club, So I'm just thinking, what else? Well, there's quite a few things we've not been to.
Well, just quickly, so you might have heard me do that kind of noise just before we went to see the pictures.
You're getting excited about these roots.
The other reason being is because I took the pot off. Look at the root system again. I always love to show you the root systems on this, because if you've got a fantastic root system on a plant, you've got a fantastic plant. That's it at the end of the day. This is guaranteed success because this is a fantastic root system. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. Well, I'm excited about those roots too, but that's because these are grown by YouGarden now. And we are delighted to have each and every one of you joining us today. I know a lot of you watch the shows, you stream them later, that's absolutely fine. The live shows normally appear again on YouTube about 24 hours later, don't they? And so, but if they do come up on YouTube about 24 hours later, and we are going to post them all on our website, uGarden.com. We'll put them on our website for you, so you can stream them whenever you want to. And also, we always put our best shows on a Sunday morning at 10 o'clock as well. But let's remind all of you lovely people that have joined us right now on YouGarden TV of some of your favourites that we've had so far. And you are adoring those Pansy Magic. When I say Pansy Magic, they're Pansy Tango Magic. You get these gorgeous, rich, vibrant oranges. And on the dullest of winter days, when everything's looking a bit sad, these are going to just brighten up your heart, aren't they just? They really are. They're just amazing colours. And they will work so hard throughout the winter months. And I was saying earlier, my mum's visually impaired, and these bright colours would really stand out for her. Not only that, they will flower all winter long. And they are perennials. Sometimes we just, because they don't like it when it gets really hot in the summer, and sometimes we just throw them away. But you know what? You can put them in your beds and borders, just chop them back, put them somewhere in the shade, maybe in the summer, let them kind of just gather their thoughts, so to speak, and relax and recover, and then they'll flower again as the autumn comes. But they're absolutely beautiful, and you will get all 20 of those. They are garden ready. They're big, big plug plants, ready to be planted right now at just £12.98. Now, one of my favourites today, something that's going in my YouGarden basket, are Cordylines. Look at these beauties. So, first time I'd seen these. So the new growth is this stunning, stunning pink. But as it ages, it goes green with the cream edge. How incredible is that? Now, many of you will know Cordylines. They can grow really big. They grow a big stem as they get more mature. But for the first few years, these could look great just in the centre of a pot with maybe a few bedding plants around them. They're also fantastic in maybe large hanging baskets, again for the first maybe year or so. But as they mature, my word, these are going to look amazing in your beds and borders. They're lovely. They're really, and the price, bear in mind, you're getting 3 of these. They're really good size. I mean, I was in the studio around about, I would say about 60 centimetres, something like that. They're really, really great value today and a little bit more unusual. You know, you get the solid green cordylines, the brownie colour ones, but these are the two-tone ones. The new growth is pink, the older growth is that fabulous green with the cream edges as well. 680287. Really like those, and we'll definitely be ordering them. Club members, obviously you'll get your 10% off and you'll get an extra £2 saving on those, more or less £2. Then we saw, with YouGarden, you know, it's all about gardening for everybody. You know, you get 2 of these and they're called the fast dropping bulb planter. Basically all the bulbs are in their own pockets. They've all been selected and they've all been put in a lovely combination, so it's almost like a designer has put these together. All you do is cover them with compost. You need obviously a window planter, we've got those on the show as well. Give them a water and then you are going to get the most stunning display. So that is it. You literally put the whole tray in there, cover it with a little bit more compost, water, weight, and there you go. Now if you haven't got a window box, we have got them on the show. And you can actually double up on these. So one of them is $7.99, but obviously if you're going for the planters, then you would go for 2 of these. You can get 2 for £11.98. 13177. Now, one of the most popular options today has been our Rudbeckia. You actually get 3 of these in 9 centimetre pots. They're a really good size. They may be already in flower, some of ours are, but you're going to get them for $14.97. And I'm just going to let Adam talk about these for a second, because you've got these in your garden. You got them from YouGarden, and I mean, they're huge now, aren't they?
They are, Shaun. They're absolutely knockout. I put 6 plants in about a couple of years ago. They've now covered an area probably 1.5 metres by 1.5 metres. They've been flowering for weeks already. They're going to keep flowering for weeks to come, right up into the autumn, late autumn, even early winter. And they are just one of the most easiest perennials to grow, herbaceous perennials to grow. Plant them, not even any need to stake them. Let them grow, let them flower. Just cut them down late winter or very early spring, and they'll come back year after year and give you bigger and bigger displays.
I mean, I'm looking at those, a mass of yellow, bright, beautiful, and the flowers are all perfect. You know, certain flowers can look a bit, you know, straggly, a bit dishevelled. Every one of these is perfect, isn't it?
Yeah, perfectly symmetrical.
Yeah.
Kind of those little black landing pads there for the bees, you know, encouraging the bees to come in and sort of pollinate them. You can see that kind of just around the edge of that black, but you've got that little orangey darker bit at the base of the petal there. And again, that's all about, I mean, it looks beautiful to us, but it's guiding in the bees. It's showing the bees where to go, you know, to get the nectar and obviously transport the pollen from plant to plant. These are going to be buzzing with bees and butterflies and all the lovely pollinated insects, make great little cut flowers. But for such little input, they really, really do just flower their little hearts out for you all summer long, so right into the autumn, and require minimum amount of input. That's what I like about them.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, if you've got areas that are not planted deeply and you get loads of weeds, pop these in there, they'll keep the weeds down and they'll come back year after year after year. Also, with them being fully hardy, they will have the YouGarden lifetime guarantee. Any hardy plant is covered by that. If anything happens to it, if it doesn't perform like we say it will, let us know and we will replace it free of charge. All you need to do is pay for the postage for that. And then also on the show, I mean, look at these. So we have got our ready-made Pansy Cool Wave baskets. Now, we did have the Pansy Cool Wave in the berries and cream as a plant of the month. They all sold out. They sold out really quickly and we're really struggling to get them back in stock. But thankfully, we had taken some of our stock and planted it up in the rattan baskets. So if you're looking for your berries and cream, Pansy Cool Wave. We've got them planted up in the baskets, ready to go. What you see is what you get here at just £29.98. They are some of the most spectacular autumnal baskets I think I've ever seen there.
Definitely, Shaun. And right from the get-go, you've got colour, you've got completion of that hanging basket. You're not looking at gaps for weeks on end. You're not thinking, oh, I can't wait to the time when they all kind of mingle together and look like one giant plant. They look like one giant plant straight away. You're getting that joy, that pleasure. And every flower almost looks unique, doesn't it? I mean, so many different kind of patterns and colours.
And there must be several hundred on there already.
Easily.
You know?
With several hundred buds waiting to come out.
And these are, you know, if your summer baskets have gone over and they're, because I hate a tatty-looking basket, don't you? Yeah. It really irritates me. Yeah,
I mean, you get to that point where you try and revive them. And it's just you're only kidding yourself, really.
A lot of my petunias now are too straggly.
Yeah, they get a bit mildewy, and some of the leaves go yellow.
Brown,
That's it. Yeah.
I mean, some of the baskets still look great, but some have,
close up. They are starting to look a little bit,
So anyway, if you want to, get a head start on your winter hanging baskets, they're all ready to go. You can replace your summer baskets right now, have everything looking gorgeous. And I think that price is amazing. It's only £29.98. Bearing in mind, and this is why I want you to join the club, if you join the club for £5 today on auto renewal, you get an extra £3 off those, give or take a few pence. And with every order, you also get your $4.99 blooming fast as well. So loads of savings to be made. But I don't think they're going to last. I mean that because, obviously, lots of people ordered on the website. We've sold out of the berries and cream plug plants. I was lucky I got mine. I was in there now. Sorry.
Insider dealing, I call that.
No, it's
personally, I think that's illegal. This man needs to be arrested.
No, I presented the show the other week and I was like, I need to get my hands on those. And they've arrived. I haven't planted them yet, but they look great already. But I'm going to plant them on my days off. We've also got, staying with the purple theme, I love purple, particularly in winter. We have got our tulip purple paradise. You get 25 of these glorious bulbs for only £11.99, postage is included. Do you know, every time I look at these images, they're just breathtaking.
I've grown them.
Yes, you have. You said yes.
Yep, 2 clumps of these. Absolutely adored them. They were.
Did you do them in pots or?
No. I put them in the garden, 2 areas of the garden, and they were phenomenal. And what I liked about them, first of all, the colour range. Just those deep purples, the lighter purples, the whites, the ones that are kind of a slightly mixed colour. And I like the fact that some of them are just the traditional kind of shaped petals, but some have got that wonderful frosting on the outside, on the edges.
Yeah.
Like somebody's gone round with, is it crimping shears or pinking shears? Kind of round the edge. Real drama from these as well. Bolt upright straight stems, really strong supporting stems, very bold coloured tulips that just look magnificent for about 3 to 4 weeks. I mean, it surprises me just how long, when tulips are happy, how long the petals stay on. Great quality bulbs here as well, so you're getting those good sized bulbs. And when you plant a bulb, you plant a promise. And the reason I say that is because if you cut one of those bulbs in half, don't do that, but if you did, right in the middle, you'll see a little embryonic flower bud right in the centre of that bulb. The flower is already there. We
nearly did that earlier, but we actually didn't have the heart to do it. We thought, no, I couldn't do it. Because when you get 25 bulbs, as Adam said, you're going to get 25 gorgeous tulip stems. And if you've ever bought bulbs sometimes from, other stores and things like that, you'll open up the packet and sometimes you notice different size bulbs. Sometimes you get quite a few mushy ones, so they're not going to do anything.
No good at all. Yeah, if you ever touch bulbs and they're soft or mushy, just reject them. If they've ever covered in green, like got sort of green mildew and stuff on, reject straight away. If they smell musty, reject straight away. Look at these. These bulbs are shiny. These bulbs are healthy. They've got their little tunics on, which is those little papery coverings, which is important as well. They have those on there. And these tulip bulbs are of such a size that they are guaranteed to flower for you, because, as I say, that little flower bulb or bud is already in the middle of that bulb. Once you put these in the ground,
look at those.
All they've got to do is develop.
I worked with Peter and Bex with these tulips, and they both came up with this word for the frilliness on the edge. You called it frosting. I can't remember what it was, but it might have been, you reckon Peter made it. Well, I want to say something like I can't remember it. Fibrillata or something. I don't know. No, it wasn't. Was it that? I don't know.
Well, the thing is,
you called it frosting, didn't you?
Yeah, but
I remember that.
But the thing is, I'll be straight down the line with you. You're always learning new things in gardening. I mean,
you do.
Sometimes people say something to me in gardening, and I say, "Really? I didn't know that was that." And I go, I look it up, and it's like, they're right.
I'm chairman of our garden club in our area, and I love being chairman. That sounds grand, but it's a really relaxed garden club. It's really relaxed. But yeah, we have speakers every month. In fact, Peter McDermott, who owns the nursery, is speaking for us in October. You're more than welcome. We can book you a slot, Adam. We don't pay that much, but it's good fun. Okay. but I learned so much.
Free drinks?
Oh yeah, we can do that.
All right.
Yeah, we can give you a free meal at the pub as well. But yeah, we all learn so much, and hopefully from you watching the shows with us on YouGarden TV, you're going to learn and pick up tips and hints, because we have loads of experts like Adam, multi-award winning gardener. But you're always learning.
Yeah.
And do you know what? Sometimes you do make a few mistakes. That's gardening, and every year's different. Some year, certain plants look amazing. Some years they don't. But it's always, a garden's never finished. It's a journey. It's ongoing, but it's rewarding. And as you said earlier, great for mental health, physical health. It's a marvellous hobby to have.
It is, yeah. And so with the learning side of it as well. I mean, I'd never be so arrogant. I know an awful lot about gardening, but I'll never be so arrogant to say I know everything. And there's always stuff to learn. And sometimes when you send emails into us and tell us things, we learn things from you.
Absolutely.
So we're a community.
Yeah. And if you ever want to follow me on my social media, it's Shaun Ryan, presenter and plant man. But I'll tell you a bit about the shows and give you backstage footage and things like that. But I'd love you to be part of our gardening community as well. Right, we're going to go and move on to the Violet Teardrop. These are brand new for today's show.
When I swapped over the displays a moment ago,
I saw you smile.
Yeah. Well, the reason, because I picked, actually, I'm going to pick a tray of these up, because what I noticed was a fragrance coming off of these.
Now, I've not got a very good sense of
smell.
smell.
I mean, it's subtle, but there's definitely...
Oh, no, there is.
Yeah, there's a sweet fragrance coming off of
Aren't
these.
these pretty?
They are. I adore violas. There's a type of innocence and timelessness
that's a good word.
about violas, to be honest. You think
that's
back
a lovely word.
Yeah, I mean, many moons ago, kids on Mother's Day used to take little posies of violas to church to be blessed, before they gave them to their mother for Mother's Day and things like that. And there's lots of kind of folklore and poems and things written about violas. And you can see why, because such stunningly elegant, beautiful little flowers there that you can just imagine blowing in the breeze.
And when I do my winter pots and winter baskets, I do a mixture often of pansies and violas. I think it really works. The value, we've just introduced these to the show. First time you'll have seen them. 30 garden-ready plants, $19.97. Club members, you get nearly £2 off that as well. Postage, I'm going to say it once again, it's per order. So, you could order 100 items and you only pay postage on what would be the biggest item, the one with the highest postage. So, do take advantage of that. All of our plants are outstanding quality. Remember, many of them are grown, of course, here on the nursery. We've got 11 acres outside, covered in glorious plants. And this is the difference with YouGarden. When you take these violas out of the packaging, all our packaging is recyclable as well. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at those roots.
I could barely get that out of there. It was happy in there.
So Adam, as a professional gardener, what does that mean when we see all of those roots?
When you've got a root system like that, it means this plant is extremely happy. This plant is as happy as it can be, because as soon as you get that in the soil, those roots are going to spread out. They're going to establish this plant. It's going to draw nutrients and sustenance from the soil around it. It's going to grow. It's going to thrive. It's going to flower. We've used the best compost. We're giving this plant the best start. Look at all the stems on there. Look, like 1, 2, 3, 4 really healthy stems. They've probably been pinched out, so they're nice sort of bushy plants, and more flower buds coming. Just staggeringly brilliant plants in a glorious array of colours there. Fragrant, tumbling, cascading, no, that's gone wrong. Floriferous. See, you try and be clever, you trip yourself up. Floriferous. Still, no, flower a lot.
Yeah,
And,
that's all
just
right.
magnificent.
Prolific flowering.
Yeah,
ability.
I won't use that word again.
Yeah, anyway.
Didn't work.
Yeah, flowers a lot. Keeps flying.
Floriferous.
Yeah, well done.
Got there in the end. But yeah,
you know,
and so many places you can plant these. Rockeries again would be good.
Yes, yes.
Lady earlier on said about crocuses and rockeries. These would be
Elaine,
great for
wasn't it?
Elaine.
Elaine,
Yeah,
yeah.
These would be great for rockeries. Incredible for hanging baskets. Incredible for troughs and planters. Grown in combination with spring flowering bulbs, with wallflowers, with forget-me-nots.
And sometimes just filling in those gaps.
Little
isn't
gaps
it?
everywhere,
Yeah.
magnificent, yeah. And even just little dinky tiny pots that you could just sort of dot here and there, perhaps on the edge of the doorstep, perhaps just in little different places, perhaps one on the garden table, one just the top of the steps or somewhere like that. You know, so many options with these.
Cool. Well, by the way, good afternoon. Welcome to YouGarden TV. I know some of you will have just found us. We are going to be with you every week now. So Wednesdays, 10 till midday, the same on Thursdays, and also afternoon shows, 2 till 4, again Wednesdays and Thursdays, and the best of on a Sunday as well. Sunday shows are really busy actually. But we need to go back to the Echium, the pride of Madeira. Can't miss this one. I mean, look how proud it looks over there.
I'm going to move this.
I got these. I will be. You know, I have bought a lot in the first few shows, but we've had so many great deals.
You've got a big garden.
I have got a big garden.
The
Yeah.
amount of plants you buy.
It's the first time that I've had a big garden. Actually, I've got loads of gaps still. But you know, I will say this does lend itself to a bigger garden. But even if you've got just a courtyard, as long as you've got a big pot for this, it could take centre stage, couldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even at the moment, without the flowers on, this still looks a very tropical, oriental kind of plant. It's got that great look to it. It's got a sort of very statuesque, stately look to it. It's a plant that's almost sort of shouting out to you, "Hey, don't I look cool? Don't I look good? You know, I look a bit different. I look suave."
Yeah, and aren't I unusual?
Yes.
Because I have never seen this in a nursery. You know the big DIY stores that sell plants as well. I've never seen it there. But Peter McDermott and YouGarden, they do work with many breeders abroad, across Europe, and that's why we get some of these really unusual, exotic plants. Now, when you say exotic, we always worry about how hard it is. It's harder to -5, isn't it?
Yeah, about
we're pretty
-5.
hard at that, then.
Yeah, and if you do have it outside, and it does get to say about -5 in the winter, don't worry if come the spring it looks a little bit tatty. That's completely and utterly natural. What it will do, as the weather warms up, it will just drop those tatty leaves and then it will start to grow lots and lots of lovely new green shoots. But then, from these tips here, that's where the flower spikes will come, and you will get these dramatic blue flower spikes.
Now, I'll just give you the details for this if I can. If you'd like the violas, 410160, just $19.97. Look at the price of this. Couldn't wait to show this actually, because it's only $14.99, and that's the reason I bought it. I am a frugal gardener. I don't like to spend more than I have to, and I never bought this before because it was, we have sold it, different sizes and things, but about £40 on previous shows that we worked on. Today, it's only $14.99. But I remember seeing these in Madeira as I got off the cruise ship and looked around the gardens, and they were these huge spikes, and they are attention grabbing. They are so noticeable. And you were saying the bees go berserk for them.
Oh, bees absolutely adore these. I mean, these will be smothered in bees for week after week after week after week. And as I was saying earlier on, there's not many things that are that kind of blue colour. We've got Ceanothus, but there's almost no
geraniums, I guess.
Yeah, there's almost no native plants that are that colour blue. So this will definitely bring the touch of more than a touch of the unusual to your garden. This will be a talking point, this plant. And if you're in a really cold area and you still want to grow this, just grow it in a pot. But then in the winter time, keep it away from the harshest, coldest weather. It doesn't need to be mollycoddled or kept warm. Even if it's in the garage and it goes down to -1 or -2, it'll be fine. Just put it back outside when the weather turns milder. Don't worry, as I say, in early spring, if it starts to look a bit sad, as soon as that weather warms up, and I'm talking from experience, all of a sudden it will start off again, and by summer it will look magnificent.
I'm actually really excited about mine. I just cannot wait till next year, and I'm hoping to get all these massive blue spikes.
Well, the thing is as well,
because it's big as well. It's already established, so I should get some decent sized flowers.
Yeah, because a lot of these, a lot of Echiums are what's called a triennial, which actually means they take 3 years to flower. So in the first year they'll come up, form a plant so high. Second second year, they'll actually, produce more leaves and more stems. And then finally, from the third year, that's when they'll actually flower for you.
But this is a biennial, isn't it?
Well, I think this is a triennial.
Triennial.
Which means they take 3 years to flower. And this one has been brought to that point. So next year, this will flower for you.
I'm with you now, Adam.
Yeah.
I've got it.
Yeah. So you have annuals flower in the same year, biennials flower the second year, triennials flower the third year of their life.
God.
So,
if you want to go for that, let's compare next year, because I've bought mine. Get yours right now, and we'll swap pictures next year. Sounds a good idea. I can't wait. So we will get flowers next year.
Yeah, we'll get flowers.
Triennial. See, we always learn, don't we? Now we're going to go back to the Jasmine. This is our new home, by the way. If you watched us before the garden shows, this is our new home. We're in a ginormous potting shed that I'd love to have in my garden. But we're in the middle of YouGarden Nursery, 11 acres of beautiful plants. And this is one of the plants on the nursery right now. If you buy 2 of the Jasmine, the Star Jasmine, you will get this. 2 of them for $19.99. But you do need to put the 2 in your basket. Very important. I keep banging on about it, but there's a special code on the TV shows, and today's is YGTV9. Pop it in there and you will get this extra discount, and you'll get your free Blooming Fast, which is worth $4.99, and that will make 20 watering cans of premium plant food. Now, you see that at the bottom, save a further £3, become a YouGarden discount club member. Now, I never knew about this until working directly for YouGarden, but honestly, it is a brilliant club. So it's normally £20, it is on offer today. £5 is your auto renewal, so your subscription will automatically renew at the end of the year, but you can cancel, so don't worry about that, you can cancel at any time. Or you can go for £10 a year. I went for the auto renewal. £5, what benefits does it give me and does it give you? Well, look at this, 10% off every plant and accessory. And the accessories cover things like compost, for example. 5% off every outdoor living and gift order. That could be garden tools, lawnmowers. We work on really low margins on those, so to get 5% off is really, really good. And actually, 5% off £200 is still a great saving if you're buying, one of our big lawnmowers, things like that. £20 worth of YouGarden vouchers. So they're 4 lots of £5. I mean, that's like having £20 worth of cash, really, because you can use one of those every 3 months, and you'll also get exclusive offers, competitions, and expert advice as well. So, I know we are getting lots of club members, and thank you. It just makes sense. You don't have to spend a lot before you've got your money back. Now, this is an absolute beauty. We like this, and so do you. You get 2 today for $19.99. I've got these. Adam's got these. It's one of the very few climbers that is actually evergreen.
It is, Shaun. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of evergreen honeysuckles. There's an evergreen clematis I can think of, but yeah, a lot of climbers do lose their leaves in the wintertime. They're deciduous, but this looks glorious all the year through. In the summertime, in the spring, you've got these lovely, lustrous, green, shiny leaves, which just look absolutely superb. And in the autumn, they start to turn a lovely deep red colour, so all the way through the winter they've got these sort of reddish coloured leaves, and then they turn back to green come spring and summer. But the pièce de résistance with these is the flowers.
And it's the fragrance as well, obviously.
Fragrance. Yeah, these flowers, these pure white flowers with a sensational, sweet, delightful fragrance for week after week after week.
Oh, look at that.
Again, attracting the pollinating insects, great for pollinators. And such an easy plant to grow as well. Drought tolerant, frost tolerant, wind tolerant. A very fast climber once it gets going. Great for going over arbours, pergolas, through trees. In fact, what you could do if you wanted to, you could actually grow this through another plant, or another climber. Great for a climbing rose, for example. So perhaps when the rose has finished flowering, you're getting the flower of the jasmine instead, or you're getting both at the same time. Great for, say, hiding an ugly wall or the side of an ugly shed or an outbuilding or a garage.
We've often got those ugly parts in the garden, haven't we? Bits of, and as I said, I've got clematis, I love them, but when they die down in the winter, you just got twigs. Suddenly that ugly area is exposed.
Yeah, and sometimes with clematis as well, it's one of those plants that people have nightmares about how and when to prune, because it depends whether they're flowering late in the year, early in the year. You don't need to worry about any of that.
I inherited a clematis, and I remember I thought, why is it not flowering? It took me 2 years to realise I was pruning it at the wrong time. It was amazing coming in, Liz, like, where's the flowers? But I realised I was pruning it at the wrong time.
No problems with this, Shaun. I mean, Trachylospermum josminoides or star jasmine are just so easy to grow. Plant them, put some of our compost in around the roots, water it in, and I'll show you the root system on this plant in a moment. Get it established, and it will just climb up and it will do what you want it to do. And if it gets too big, take the secateurs to it, take the shears to it, chop it back to where you want it to be. It will reshoot, it will be a happy plant. Just really, really straightforward. The only sort of area it wouldn't like very deep shade, and it wouldn't like very heavy wet soil. But other than that, as I say, the one that I used to have in my old house in Bishop Stortford, we grew it in a piece of earth, practically not much bigger than a breadboard, and it was sandwiched between our front doorstep and the neighbour's front doorstep. And then there was like a path in front. So it was literally about the size of one of these bits of card. And I just thought, I want to grow something in there. And I remember chiselling out the hole in this bone-dry bit of soil, putting this in, and it thrived, and it's still there now, and it's looking great. And nobody ever waters it now. But they are really, really tough plants. So enjoy this for year after year.
I think it's really quite an unusual climber. Again, it's not one that you regularly see.
No, not a lot. And it sort of grips, but it twines. It's a twiner, so it'll twist itself around things. Once it gets onto something, it'll go round and round and round. That's how it supports itself. But if only I could, get you to sort of smell the fragrance of this right now, because it is so sweet.
Particularly on an evening, I find.
On a warm evening, warm summer's evening, the fragrance, and it really carries on the air a long way.
You might be thinking at home, what's a warm summer's evening? We've not had too many of them, although September does look quite nice, doesn't it?
But you know what? When you get that many flowers, even on a coolish evening, even when it's not the best summer, you will still walk past and you will stop and you'll say, what is that? What is that fragrance? And if you know the plant, you'll know it's this. If you don't know the plant, you'll just be thinking, I don't know what that is, but boy, I know it's good.
Well, amazing value. Definitely get 2 in your basket. Then you get the extra discounts, but you do need to use that code YGTV9. And say, YouGarden, we grow so many of our plants on the nursery. We use the premium professional compost, and when you get this home, just check out the roots.
Look at that.
You're very happy with those roots.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. When I come on these shows, you're going to see me do this a lot because, to be honest, the root system, that's what makes a good plant. What's up here is only doing good because of what's down here.
Do you know, I often, and I don't want to sound unkind, but I do think sometimes some of the garden centres and the supermarkets, I don't know, I just get a feeling that the plants are going to be forced on, but when you actually look at the roots, they're not actually that mature.
Do you know what? It so annoys me, Shaun. I mean, over the years, I've planted probably hundreds of thousands of plants.
Yeah, because I was a professional gardener.
Yeah, I've been gardening professionally for 36 years.
Wow.
And it infuriates me when we order plants from somewhere and they arrive, and then you pull them out of the pot and you're hoping for this. When you pull them out of the pot, you're hoping for this. You're hoping for a solid root ball that all stays intact with a wonderful root system. And sometimes you pull them out, all the soil falls off.
And you've got a few little roots.
And they've only just been potted on recently into a bigger pot.
It's so annoying.
And then, the top of the plant hasn't got enough root to support itself. And you get problems. When you order from YouGarden, you're dealing... Well, Peter McDermott, who's created YouGarden, is a man who just knows plants like his own soul, honestly.
And he's so passionate.
He is.
And he's a lovely man, he's a really generous man, but he really cares so much about each and every customer. And if ever anything, isn't quite right, just ring our customer service. They'll be happy to put it right. We'd prefer to know, So, but, he and his team, and he's got a brilliant team here, they, dispatch and deliver millions of plants throughout the year, and their customer reviews are fantastic.
I mean, it was good where we were previously with plants from YouGarden, but now we are literally on the site of YouGarden.
Yeah.
So we're live and direct, so we could walk outside now and see a bay of 200 or 300 of these. So we know the quality of the plants.
And we're going to be doing that. We have the technology to actually go. So we are going to take the cameras outside in the 11 acres of nursery, and we're going to share more and more with you. So keep watching the shows, because we want you to be part of our journey, part of our community, and we're going to show you all of the nursery bit by bit by bit, aren't we?
But for us, Shaun, when we are standing here and we're putting our reputation on the line talking about the plants that we're going to send out to you, for us, being able to physically see the plants outside this building means that what we say, we truly
Yeah,
believe,
of course.
because we can see the quality of the plants that are going out. We're not be thinking, oh my goodness, what are these people going to get? Because we don't know the plants.
And do you know what? And I'm just being, totally transparent and honest with you. I've worked on the nursery many times with Peter McDermott, the owner, many times, and the odd occasion I've maybe seen out 1,000, tens of thousands of plants, like one plant that's not perfect, and if I point it out to him, he's so that doesn't belong there, and he'll take it and get rid of it seriously. But everything goes. Every plant is personally picked and checked, and before it's packed and dispatched, it goes through a really thorough process. So you really do get outstanding quality, and that's where we get some of the great customer reviews. Right, we're going to go back to the most popular plant today. You're popular. You're very popular. You do talk to your plants, don't you?
I do, yeah, I do, all the time. So
this is Rudbeckia feeling very loved today, and you are going to get 3 of the Little Gold Star for only £14.97, and the postage is included. But these are... Oh, do you know what? Adam, I want it... Where's your phone?
It's in a bag just over there on the floor.
Can you get out to get it?
I will. Okay.
Can you show the picture of your garden? Is that all right? It's only on Adam's phone. I want you to see his garden because it's amazing. And he's only had it 4 years?
4 years.
4 years.
Just basically started for being a lawn, and that was it.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Honestly, and I want you to see his Rudbeckia. Okay. He'll get his.
I'll tell you what. I'm going to go out that.
Go on. It's a bit tight.
It'd be easier.
Yeah. It's going to keep us slim working here, Adam. Are you all right? There you go. He's going to get his focus. I want to see his Rudbeckia because he bought 6 from YouGarden. Was it 2 years ago, Adam? Yeah, 2 years ago. And honestly, they really are right now the backbone of his garden. So you get these beautiful big yellow flowers. Adam described the centre of those as landing pads for bees.
Yeah. That's what those black centres are.
Yeah, because so you've got loads of bees in your garden.
Yeah, encouraging those pollinating insects to sort of come in and.
The world without bees would be horrific, wouldn't it?
It would, because we wouldn't be here.
No, so the bees are so important, and the bees will absolutely love your Rudbeckia, but you'll love them too because they will give you this wonderful late blooms. We're talking about August, September time, masses of yellow. Got a message.
Put my phone on silent.
Hi Adam, you're doing a really good job of the show.
Right.
But you'll have to bear with us because it's only on a small screen.
It is, yeah.
6 of these in Adam's garden 2 years ago, and you'll see the mass of colour.
Do you want? Loads of messages. I have my phone on.
Now, do you want? The show.
There we go.
Great deals. Right. We'll share this with you. I just wanted to show because Adam showed me this during.
Do you want the video? Or do you want? There's the still. I've got a still there of the big patch of them.
I know you won't see it brilliant on the phone, but look at that. I know.
And that's about 1.5 metres by 1.5 metres. That patch.
Cool. Can we show the video as well?
Yeah. The video's just a little bit further back.
Next time we'll send it to our head of technical, Stuart, and he'll show it big screen for you at home.
There's the.
Right. Yeah. Look at this.
Yeah. There's the video. So I'll let you.
Look at this.
That's just sort of one part of my garden
look
there.
At
so
this.
You can.
But look at the Rudbeckia there. Look at it.
That was the other day. We had absolutely that's the patch of Rudbeckia. Yeah, we had an absolutely insane downpour. So I just took this picture and I put it on Twitter, and I just put into every life a little rain must fall.
Look.
But yeah.
So what? I saw that video. I was like, I think I need a bit of that. And I thought my garden was looking good. Then you see that, you're like, a little bit of a way to go. But you know what?
I'm going to make sure my phone's on silent. It's definitely on silent. There we go. I'm going to pop it over here.
We would love you to get these. I'm getting them. Do I get 3 or 6? That's a question.
Oh, well.
Go on.
You could get 6 if you wanted to.
You got 6, didn't you?
I got 6, yeah.
But they do grow pretty big, don't they?
Yeah, they kind of almost send out runners under the ground as well. So they kind of make bigger and bigger clumps as they go along. And when you look at the root system on these as well, because again, the root system is what makes the plant. You can see there, these are going to so quickly kind of spread and develop. And you will get a big patch of these. These ones get to about sort of 40 centimetres tall. So yeah, plant 3, plant 6 in about a square metre or so. And within a year or 2, you'll get the results that I've got there. And
I may end up spending all of my wages here, but I'm going to have an amazing garden. I'm going to be very happy.
I think you ought to just work here for plants, Shaun. Just be paid in plants, like in the olden days when we bartered. You give your time for plants. That's probably the best way to do it, to be honest.
Oh, well, you know what? I would say
you can be paid in Rudbeckias.
That'll do me. I'd be very happy with that. So you get all three. Postage is included. So it works out £5 each. That is it. Literally £5 a plant. You do need to, and I'm going to say it again, you need to put in the offer code today on every order. It's called YGTV9. Now, every TV show will have a special offer code because we want exclusive offers to those of you that tune in and live streamers. Also, if you're obviously watching live right now, or you might not be, but if you are watching live right now, we are with you Wednesday 10 till midday and 2 till 4, and the same on a Thursday, and then the best of Joe's are streamed on a Sunday at 10 o'clock. And what is so nice, I know some of you will be watching on your tablet and things like that, but if you've got the YouTube app on your telly, and most smart TVs have got it, maybe you've never used it before. My friend Lynn Burrows, if you're watching, she'd never used YouTube on her telly. I was like, look, it's easy, you just literally go to the app, and then the whole sheet can find all the shows. They'll be on there for quite a while, and you can stream them, you can stop them, you can rewind them, but it allows you then to order on your tablet at the same time. If you're just watching us on a tablet or a phone, you can always get back into the show by just clicking onto the main banner at the top. So it's really, really easy. Right, so remember, with every order, where is it? There you go, I've got loads of these. You're going to get your blooming fast. This is worth $4.99. It's the best fertiliser I've ever used. Really high in your N, P and K. It's 18, 18, 24, but you've got all of the extra nutrients and the minerals in there as well. And this will make 100 litres of plant food. Now, you might be somebody that goes to the supermarket and buys the ready-made stuff, and you spend £4 or £5 and it's all mixed and ready. But you know what? That is such an expensive way of doing it. And it's not great for the environment because you've got all that one plastic container, single use. Get this instead. And this will make amazing plant food. All you do, it's literally a teaspoon to about 4 litres of water. That is it, 4 or 5 litres, your watering can. I'm not too precious, put a heaped teaspoon in my watering can and you're ready to go. Some people even put it in the water butt, so it's already pre-made when you're watering your plants from your water butt as well. But that is worth £5. You get it free with every order today, as long as you use the code YGTV9. Now, we have been joined today by the brilliant Adam Woolcott, a multi-award winning gardener, and we have lots of great plant experts on the show. But it was Peter McDermott, the owner, who told me about alliums. And then when you actually helped me design my garden, you put alliums in there as well. Yeah. So great minds, you see. But they're often used in, the flower shows, like at Chelsea, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, they're stalwarts at Chelsea because May is the time that they're predominantly in full flower, and they're reliable as well. So you always know, because quite often people will say at the Chelsea Flower Show, how does everybody get everything to flower just at the right time for Chelsea? Well, actually, it's not as difficult as it seems sometimes. People generally just tend to choose things that they know will be flowering in time at Chelsea, apart from those incredible people, of course, who get daffodils and tulips flowering in May when normally they'd be long gone. But alliums are an incredibly reliable plant, hence why people love them so much.
Now, can you talk us through the different varieties? I'm trying to learn all of this. So what's the yellow
that's
one?
Molly, that
Molly's
one.
the yellow one.
Allium Molly is the little one there. This is a Neapolitanum, this one, the smaller one here, which is kind of that whitish colour. This is your... now, this is the one I suffer to say, Spherocephalon. Spherocephalon.
It's not easy, is it?
Yeah, that's a bit of a mouthful, that one. That's Molly again there, kind of a type of one. This is Purple Sensation with that great big, almost tennis ball kind of type flower head on there as well. And that one that looks like an exploding firework, that's Christophii.
That's my favourite. And when those... Oh, and I've got that in my garden.
That's Nectaroscordum, that one.
And do you know, I've got that in a really poor area. It comes up every year.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about alliums as well. Alliums will grow in really poor soil. They're growing quite dry soils, sandy soils, gravelly soils, chalky soils. The only areas they won't like. They absolutely hate heavy wet soil and they hate shade.
Yeah. To be fair, most bulbs do hate that.
They do, yeah. But I mean, if you know, sometimes you get that area at the base of a wall on a sunny side of your house or something like that, and it's that really dry soil where things struggle and don't do very well. Alliums will love that kind of place. I'm just thinking of a garden I look after now on the outskirts of Bishop Stortford, where I put some of those little Allium molly in, and it's a raised area with really, really bone hard dry clay in summer.
And they do all right.
These little group of alliums have thrived. They love it because they're in a super sunny position, which is what they like, and they're getting the warmth from the wall around them, and they're getting the drainage because it's in a raised bed.
Do you know,
even though the soil is ghastly and terrible, they survive.
I always think with gardening, it's just about finding the right plant in the right position, isn't it?
That's exactly what it is. Yeah, and sometimes it's about, if you look at, I mean, these are members of the onion family. So sometimes if you look where their wild relatives or cousins grow, for example, that will give you an idea where they're going to do well in your garden. We were saying earlier about the wonderful tulips we brought you. Well, again, they like the same sort of position because they originate from mountainous areas of Iran and Turkey and places like that. So these bulbs will do well in those sort of situations.
And you always get great instructions with YouGarden. What I will say as well, don't forget, any hardy plant comes with a lifetime guarantee. That's really important. So if you ever buy a hardy plant and it doesn't do what we say, get in touch with us and we will replace it free of charge. All you pay is the postage. So that's kind of a real, backup that you've always got here with YouGarden.
And these will spread. And divide. You'll get more and more of these. And they'll spread in two ways. They'll spread by producing sometimes little bulbils or seeds on the actual flower itself that drop down onto the ground and then become new plants. Or they'll spread by creating new bulbs at the base of the original bulb. So these will increase. And they say they are really, really, if you put them in the right place, they just come up year after year after year after year. And the good thing about these as well is with alliums, you're not left with those masses and masses of leaves that you've got to wait months and months to die down. Sometimes just as they come into flower, the leaves are already kind of going down, and you don't need to remove the dead flower heads because if you leave them, they're actually structural in their own right.
They're beautiful.
And they look great.
A friend of mine, and she's really artistic, Shaun. It's quite unusual name, Shaun with an A. But she's really, really artistic, very crafty. But she actually left all of hers for most of the summer, but then she's cut them up, she's sprayed them, she's made displays, and they're beautiful. You see, you can even do like Christmas displays.
Use them Christmas displays, or leave them through the winter, and when they've got frost, they're kind of covered in a like a frost or a really heavy dew in the morning, or sometimes this time of year when you start to get those little spider webs and things on them as well. Yeah, they're amazing.
So do get those. Look at the price again. Only $14.99. Postage is included. 630126. And do use that offer code YGTV9. Now, I'm still putting together my order. This is definitely going on it, yeah. This is the Cordyline Can Can. In fact, we had some other cordylines outside earlier, and I thought they were getting in the show, and they were lovely, actually, really nice. But then suddenly, these came. Craig, who helps us out, he brought these, and I was like, wow, no, they're really something. So these are pink when the leaves first come through, and then they slowly turn green.
Yeah, they slowly turn green, and you get this sort of white margin, this variegated margin on the edge of the leaf. So all the new leaves on here are always that deep, pinky red colour. Now,
I will be honest, these really need repotting as soon as you get them, because look at the size of them. They're really big. They're enormous. Do you know what? If we repotted this right now in a bigger pot, we could actually just charge so much more, couldn't we?
Do you know what? I could see a garden centre perhaps charging $10.99, $12.99 for one of those plants. Yeah.
Well, you know what I mean?
Yep.
It's not.
But you see, this is where we're bringing in the value to you, because we're growing a spectacular sized plant in incredible compost
look at that root.
in a small pot. So we're saving on the cost of the pot, we're saving on transportation costs, we're saving on room, but we're bringing you a quality plant.
But look at this. So, I mean, I've got some cordylines, and I've got brown ones. They look okay, I'll be honest. Sometimes they look...
Don't completely float your boat.
Not really. I've got some lovely green ones, quite nice. But I've not got pink ones, and I've not got pink ones that come with the green as well.
Yeah, so you're getting two. Getting more bang for your buck for your money, whatever the phrase is.
And I just think a pink cordyline, they are more unusual. Now, are they still? We were talking about cordylines. Normally they're hardy. We had a terrible winter. You maybe lost a few of yours. We never know what the weather's going to be like nowadays. But if it is particularly cold, you should fleece these for the first few years.
I mean, the secret in the beginning is to plant them in the optimum position where they're going to be the happiest. So plant these somewhere super, super sunny, somewhere really well drained. And again, these don't mind being in poorer kind of soil as well. They don't need super rich soil. So they're drought tolerant. So they're great for planters. So if you go away for a couple of weeks, if you've been one of those poor people that's not been able to get back from holiday recently, and you're away a week longer than you expected, well, you're not going to come back and find these cordylines dead, because they are very, very drought tolerant. And what happens eventually is you'll start to see, and this is a question I get from customers sometimes, and it worries them. They say to me, oh, the leaves on the bottom of the cordylines are starting to turn yellow and fall off. That is natural, because what happens is as the new leaves grow on the top, they shed the lower leaves, and eventually they'll grow a trunk, and they'll almost give you like a palm tree kind of look, which makes them look even more elegant. And if they're really happy, they'll flower. But as Shaun was saying, if you think you're going to be somewhere very, very cold, grow them in a pot and just put them somewhere, cool for the winter time, or you can fleece them, and that literally means you get hold of a plant at the end of the season like this, very loosely tight together at the top, like with an old pair of tights or some soft twine. That's all you need to do, and then keep wrapping round multi layers of horticultural fleece, and that will just keep the worst of the frost out, and it will stop the water getting down into the middle of the plant and rotting the crown of the plant as well. But
I'm buying this. I think I'm going to put mine in pots. I think I'm going to do some winter displays with them, and then
great
I might
central
put them in the ground.
plants. Great for pots, Shaun, because you say you can really put things around them and get drama from these.
Yes. Bit of drama in the garden. I hope you're going for those. I think they're amazing. I absolutely love them, and they are a little bit more unusual. There are so many. One thing I love about working here with YouGarden, I am learning every single show. I am spotting unusual plants, and together we're going to make our gardens. No matter what garden you've got, you might have a little balcony, a courtyard. Doesn't matter. YouGarden is all about gardening for everybody. It's all inclusive, and I hope that you continue watching the shows on a weekly basis. Right, Adam, can you believe we're nearly out of time?
Time flies.
No, we haven't got 3 minutes left.
It was 10 minutes about 10 minutes
3
ago.
minutes left.
Now it's 3 minutes.
God.
Yeah, that's flown past.
Well, we've got a very important health and safety meeting to go to, Adam.
We have.
We have.
Yes, you do.
I'm trying to look as excited about that as I have about the show.
Yeah,
but it is important.
Right, some things have to be done.
They do. Right, what should we finish with? Actually, the Jasmine and the Rudbeckia, So the Jasmine, look, you can still order after the show. You can watch the show again by streaming on YouTube. The live shows normally go on YouTube about 24 hours after, so you can watch on YouTube, and also on our website, ugarden.com, of course, as well. But the two most popular items in the show, Rudbeckia. I mean, you saw Adam's garden.
And that took 2 years.
I'm not going to guarantee your whole garden is going to look like Adam's, but the bit with the Rudbeckia, it is. That bit definitely will if you go for these.
Yeah, I just put 6 Rudbeckias in an area about a square metre, and within 2 years they've done what you saw in that picture, and they're just magnificent. And they've been flowering for weeks, and they're going to keep flowering for weeks. And I don't do anything with them at all apart from January, February time when they've all gone brown and died off. I just cut the tops off down to ground level, and then I just wait, and then they come back again.
Hang on.
Every year.
I've got 2 here.
They're just so Shaun. They just kind of want to be. I mean, look at the root system.
I mean, they're so strong and healthy. And, they may arrive with some flowers on. I know, when we watched on the nursery earlier, some have got flowers on. But you know what? Plant them now. It's a great time to plant. It's autumn, or coming into autumn. The ground, as you said, is warm. We're still getting lots of daylight. Get them settled right now. I've sometimes made the mistake of planting things right in the middle of winter where the ground's cold and it's dark, and, things can really struggle.
They sulk.
They do.
Sulk then. They really do.
You've given me a horrible place to live. Yeah. How dare you?
Imagine somebody invited you to their home and it was freezing cold.
Yeah, with the ventilator off. You wouldn't stay there long, would you?
You wouldn't want to be there long, would you?
No.
So same for the plants.
These are living, wonderful things, and they want to be happy.
They want love.
They do. So I know you're going to love these. Get them today, and I'm going to say it one final time. If you want to save money, then join the club. You get 10% off all the plants, and it's only £5 a year on auto renewal. You're going to get your free gift with every order. You need to use that code YGTV9. If you don't use that code, you'll miss out. There may be some other promotions. In fact, like the Jasmine, you get 2 for $19.99 if you put that code in. So you've always got to put that code in on the TV shows. It's really important. We only have the codes running for a while. The Jasmine, finally, we've both got these. The reason I went for it, I wanted an evergreen climber because my other ones aren't, and they look a bit miserable in the winter, just lots of twigs.
Yep.
But I loved the flowers and the fragrance.
Well, it's a climber that's got everything. It's evergreen, as you say, and in the autumn, these green leaves actually turn a lovely fiery red colour, and they look incredible all through the winter, turning back to green the next spring. You've got a plant that's vigorous, a plant that's healthy, a plant that supports itself, but on top of all that, you then have a plant that is going to be smothered in these fantastic white flowers with an incredible fragrance. You've just got every attribute that you could want from a climber, really has.
Yeah, and the fact that you can get 2 of these for $19.99. The detail on the screen for the Blooming Fast, you will get that free with the code, don't forget, YGTV9. But if you do want to go for the Jasmine, put 2 in your basket and use the code, and then all you pay is £19.99. Delivery-wise, you only pay delivery once. So that's another way of saving money. You know, put as much as you like in your basket, you'll only pay 1 delivery. Whatever the most expensive delivery charge is, you know, the biggest item normally, the heaviest, that's all you pay to cover your entire order. Do you know, Adam, I have loved today.
Yeah, it's been a blast,
amazing.
Shaun. It's been well, it's a new experience for me. It's the first time I've been here. I've absolutely adored it. Wonderful journey here. Wonderful people. Wonderful nursery. Wonderful countryside.
And wonderful new viewers.
Yeah.
Please join us every week now. You know, keep looking at the YouGarden website. Thank you so much. I hope you've ordered some of these amazing plants. Adam, I'm sure I'll see you
Shaun.
soon.
Pleasure. Thank you.
I'm sure I'll see you very soon. Thank you so much for watching YouGarden TV. Don't forget to check out your baskets. Take care.